Okay, so last time, the party successfully freed Whetstone from this evil force that has been controlling it for some time and taking advantage of it. They then went through the village to see if there was any help that was needed for healing anyone that might have been hurt during the battle, or repairing some of the damage that would have been done to the village during the conflict, as well as investigating different points of interests that they didn't have a chance to thoroughly investigate before the battle. So they went to different areas like Maxwell's office and back to the temple, back down into the mine to see if they could uncover any more secrets as to why the Crimson Blade came to Whetstone and what the connection was between the Crimson Blade and this mysterious figure that they encountered in the manor courtyard. Also, the party dealt with some tension coming from Sir Joran, the Lord of Whetstone. The party made several very successful persuasion rolls that seemed to start to change the Lord's view on how he's been running things in the village, and perhaps because of the events that have recently transpired, he needs to change the outlook on what he has of the world. As well, Kara seemed to find at least some sort of closure when it comes to her past and why she left her home. Now the party is finishing up selecting items that they want as a reward, after having a meeting with different important individuals within the village to decide what they are to do in the future and what is to be done about what happened. And that's where we pick up, is with you guys finishing selecting items, and the rest of the evening is then yours. So, I know Toravine took a shield. I don't know if Sybil actually decided on the robe. The robe, did I hand that over to you guys? I don't think I did. I have to send a picture to her then. And then, so that was, and then there was another item that you guys were debating, and I know Raylog and Dothra were debating on what to get and what weapon to get. So the shield was taken. No. The robe was taken by Sybil. And that was a possibility. What's that?
I think I know what it is that I bought, but I think we picked last time.
There was a helmet of fire. I know that. Yeah. Yeah, it was a circlet.
Yeah.
And then there was a great sword of fire. There's this. I was gonna say I didn't separate. Let's see. Gauntlets of Thunderclap, Helmet of Fire, Helm of Intellect. There was a flaming great sword. And then there was various different other items, but the great sword was the one that had the more powerful empowerment to it. Weapon-wise, the other ones didn't have as hearty of an The helmet of fire gives a I don't care if you look at it. Mention it. The helmet of fire gives a +1 to DR. Yeah. The gauntlets probably wouldn't help you guys too much just because it doesn't increase your strength because your strength is already high. Yeah. Yeah.
The armor that we already got.
Yep.
Choosing to
No. Nope.
So she was looking at looked like from your dad.
She wasn't really looking at anything specific because she got that cloak from her parents.
It's too bad the D-Man can't be in this. He was a very pivotal role in helping all this cultivate.
What that will mean to say.
Watch everything. Take that.
Okay.
I was
mean,
there.
our
I never
weapons
left
do,
them.
so-
I kept my eye on
Just-
them the whole time.
Yeah. So anyways.
It would be 2 because if she's wearing just a regular leather, it's
Oh, I see what
it's
you're saying.
1.
I thought she was wearing
Yeah,
it.
but if it's because it's steel it goes up 1, and then because of its empowerment, it also goes up 1.
One question I was asking possibly. We were also to know how many notables we were going to be. Is it
Yes. I did look at it this week, so I'm trying to remember because I didn't bring it with me and I didn't write it down. I know yours was, well, everybody gets 1 because of freeing Whetstone. Yep. So everybody gets at least 1 notable for morality. Toravine, you would have got 1 for the persuasion that you were doing with Sir Joran and trying to change his thought process with, and yeah,
Then if we had 3. So. Yes.
yes. You and Sybil were very key in the battle too, for in the temple as well, and even just coming up with plans and things like that for taking the village back and just coming up with everything. So you would have got something for that as well. Other than that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. You and Sybil had the most though. So, Dothra and Raylog, I believe you both had another one as well. I don't remember the circumstances though. Yeah.
So we got a total of 2.
Yes.
That's for falling and falling, and then realizing you were never falling.
But they never knew.
Yep.
Only I am smart. And I still get counsel.
He woke up from the dream and was like, what did I miss?
It hasn't been talked about yet.
What did I miss?
And then Kara, yours was, I mean, you got the automatic one for freeing the village, and then you also had another one as well from something. I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was a conversation that you, or the way that you handled something with like the resistance or something. I want to say that's what it was, but I could be wrong.
So you're at 19.
On morality and dex. Only one more to go.
Okay.
My charisma.
So you guys have your items, and the rest of the evening is
Ours to do
yours
it.
to go and do what you wish.
Okay,
Contact who you
the
want.
chest that we all basically have.
Yeah, it was
5,000.
yeah, 5.
So all make sure on your character sheets that you write 1,000.
I just don't spend money.
Now, I would like to see about going to a shop.
Okay.
The tourist scrap shop.
Okay.
Oh, with little bottles.
And yeah. I'm assuming the nice lady is there still.
Yes, Tessa is still there.
Another meat one there. All right, well, I'll go in. Oh, good day. See you for a little bit.
You see her in there. She is setting up things that got knocked over, several displays, and as well. She's sweeping up glass as well from one of the windows in the front of the building. Ended up getting.
Oh, I see you're busy. Would you like to have some help? Come through. I didn't realize you were busy cleaning up from the aftermath.
Yes, I mean, I'll be able to clean this up, but unless you have nothing else to do, I mean, it would be appreciated, but I can manage.
I'd be happy to help.
Okay. She takes you over to a closet, and there's more cleaning supplies and another broom and dustpan there. So she takes you over, gets you a broom and dustpan, and hands it to you, and then she goes back over to where she was by the window and starts sweeping up, and she
She
says,
doesn't realize I'm only as half high as the room can.
"Yeah, I mean,
That's what she's.
it's what she's got." So,
I would say so. I know this has just been recent after all the turmoil. Would you happen to know
a nice young man that swung by earlier that said something about some of the items. They were going to be inspecting some of the items, and some of them might be taken because they were bad in some way. But yeah, somebody stopped by and let me know. I don't really know which ones they are, but they told me to kind of take them off the shelf just to make sure that nobody was taking them. So.
Possibly amulets or something that are basic usage hold up. Other than
Just rings?
well, let's just start off.
She doesn't have any rings on her. She had basically weapons and a few pieces of armor, like a helmet or gauntlets or things like that, but that was it.
So you do it.
Mhm.
Let's finish sweeping here. I'd be curious to.
Okay. So you spend some time cleaning up with her, and eventually the floor is, free of debris and glass and whatnot, and the shelves are, propped up to the way that they need to be, and the displays. And she sits down on a stool behind the desk, and oh boy. That was a lot. I do appreciate the extra help.
I know what a very hard worker you are. It's nice to have help now and then instead of always carrying the burden yourself.
Yeah, I'm just so used to being the only one around here, and it's you get used to doing everything yourself. And whenever someone offers to help, it's just different and odd, I guess. So, but it's appreciated.
Well, you definitely described me.
You are an odd little fellow.
Yes, I do. Right.
All of this man.
So, these gauntlets require any special anything that you know about these?
She goes around and she's like, I believe there was one pair that was not pointed out by the young man that came by earlier to supposedly it was okay and wasn't bad or something like that. But let me go see where I put those, because I don't I kind of threw everything in boxes and whatnot to make it so that, looters weren't coming in and taking things and whatnot. And she goes into the back and then spends a few minutes and then comes back, and she has a pair of leather gauntlets in her hand, and puts them down on the counter, and says, yeah, these gauntlets were made by, I guess, the previous priest at the temple. Yes. What was his name?
Name eludes me too.
Kareem or something like that. Ethnic, yes. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't remember what these technically do. Because I had everything on cards and whatnot, and had everything on the displays and whatnot, but with everything going on, all of that kind of got all mixed up.
Next to
So,
the recipe.
are you gonna use anything to see if it's
Yeah, I'm
empowered or? Okay.
Since
You're not
I already know it's
the
empowered.
ordinance on the forms.
I'll turn around. You guys are out of town. I guess I'll do it identical.
Okay.
Need a 17. Which is a. So, what do you want to tell me about what we should?
All the things that you know about. Will the gauntlets help?
All right. So the gauntlets. You put identify on them, and you find that they give a plus to someone's attack, almost like a weapon, but it is on the gauntlets instead of a weapon. So it enhances someone's.
Would it be a natural weapon instead?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't empower the weapon in any way,
Right.
but it just helps them with hitting.
It's sort of like a phantom imbue
Yeah.
where it helps, but
Yeah.
it's not making it an empowered item.
Correct.
It helps you with
Correct. Yes. It's
Um,
kind of like guiding your hand, so to speak.
But the item has to be unempowered. Does the
Yes.
item have-
Yeah. Yep.
So if I use a ladle, it'll help me guide with that ladle to hit it. 'Cause it's
Correct.
Unempowered.
Yeah.
Do I know what the guidance number is?
It's not. It's like a +1.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's not very. The
Okay.
hue on it and whatnot is not very strong. Yeah.
Show it some people. Yeah, it's very interesting. I would say they're probably gauntlets of guiding to help your hands be more true on its target. I don't know if you have something written down that you can't find.
She grabs a writing utensil and some paper
Yeah.
and writes down and whatnot, and just so she has record of it.
Yeah.
Are you interested in purchasing this or no?
Seems as I look to see with my flawless identify, I would know if this needed to be attuned,
Correct.
and it needs to be attuned.
No.
May I ask for this beginning item what the price would be?
It would be around 900 gold. It's a little bit more expensive than a weapon.
Which is 8.
Yeah.
It is very interesting. Very intriguing also. That I happen to have items that already have a certain amount of empowerment that this would enhance, but would be nice in a bind in case I did not have something of such fashion. I think categorize that, and maybe it might be. I might come back to it.
Okay. And she takes them and puts them behind the desk.
Okay. Maybe nice for a farmer if he had to fend off a wolf or something with his hoe or something would help guide him to protect
Yeah.
himself out in the field. It sounds like that might be down his alley better. Also, do you have any helmets? Metal helmets?
No, she does not.
No. You have a sale on Imbumonite?
Changed so much in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
She does have some, but it's in that locked vault room that she has in the back.
Okay, so the timing's off for that. If it's locked up. She's
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
That's-
She wasn't really doing much business related stuff today other than like cleaning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm very glad to hear that you are safe. I'm saddened that there is a certain level of cleanup, but it looks like well within your talents to be able to get this back in tip-top shape. And I'll most likely be leaving soon, and I do thank you for your acquaintance, and you've done a very good job, and hopefully business will pick up in the near future.
Hopefully. I mean, hopefully we can avoid whatever this was with the previous, or these other folks here in the village, and hopefully things can return to some sense of normalcy.
I think it might turn into a better type of normalcy now that things have been shaken up. And on that note, I would like to part my ways with you by sharing a berry.
A berry?
Oh, it is a very, how should I say, not intoxicating, but it invigorates one with the type of berries that I get from the Creator.
Ah, well, that sounds lovely.
You are a hardworking person. I feel you deserve one of the finer snacks for the day.
Well, certainly, and she holds out her hand.
Yeah, pull out a blueberry.
Okay.
And this is specifically for you and your wonderful aura that you give about yourself.
I appreciate it. Now, is it good to eat now, or do I have to wait, or?
No, you may eat it at your own time. No better time than the present.
Yep, and she just throws it right in.
Okay, all right. So that'll help her during her busy time of refreshment.
Yep.
And I say, good day to you, Tessa.
And you as well,
Torvon.
Torva. I'm glad you all came to Whetstone.
I am also off again.
Well, again, I appreciate your help, and I wish you good luck on your future endeavors.
The world depends on it.
Mm.
Bye.
All right, and she just goes back to just doing odds and ends with cleaning up and whatnot. Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going back to the mud puddle.
The old mud hole. You guys had your meeting and whatnot with yeah, with everybody like in the evening around dinner time, so it would be 6-ish, 6:30.
We could all have a party in a root cell.
Oh, great idea.
And dream about your family reunion that you had. While you hug your oak,
Yes.
who's still alive.
My great big living teddy bear with claws. I'm sure that's a great idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I guess we're standing together
Next day.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And we talk to Derek and see what his
Yeah.
plans are.
Because we said that Carl went and talked to Derek, but we never found out.
About like possibly going with us for future activities.
Yeah, you wanted to go through or you asked about actually having conversation with Derek and
Yes.
Do you still want to do that, or
Yeah.
okay?
I mean, it would be good to know
So
what
this is
happened.
before the meeting, before you guys have the meeting with the Lord and Lady and all the other key figures. Where are you looking for Derek?
Well, considering that he knows the manor very well, I would be looking somewhere on the manor for him.
Okay.
Because, as far as I know, that's the last place we
You saw him exiting through the gates away from the manor, going down towards the village.
out the outer gate.
Yes.
Because I know there's an inner set. Okay. All right. So I be heading that away.
Okay.
Yes.
So you head down into the village.
Chopping heads off,
You head
okay.
into the village kind of with your party. Your
You know
party
what I meant.
stops and helps with different cleaning up different things and healing different individuals and whatnot. But you keep going. Where in the village are you looking for Derek?
Well, let me consult my map again. The barracks is down that way. Would I find him there? Do I need to roll for that?
You go and walk into the courtyard of the barracks and ask around to see if anybody has seen Derek, and you describe him, and everybody kind of shakes their head and says, no, I haven't seen him come through here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the next stop is the general store. I doubt he'd be there, so I'm not going to look there. The town hall is a little further in there, right across from the temple. So I'm guessing he's probably going to be at the town hall or the temple.
Okay. And so you walk into the town hall. The town hall has quite a few people in it just for cleaning out all of the stuff from the Crimson Blade taking over and all of that. The temple, at the town hall, you don't find him there either.
Okay.
And you go to the temple. You kind of run into the rest of your party as they are also heading that way as well. But you just find some clerics and injured people in the temple.
Not injured by the clerics. Clarification there.
Yes.
Yes. Not injured by the clerics. That's not why they injured people. Yeah. Okay. So, I would check the inn next, because if he was hoping to run into me or anybody else, the inn might be a common sense place to go to.
Okay. So you go towards the inn and step into the restaurant portion, and you see
The mud
Derek
pie in
the far end of the room in a corner, just hunched over at a table. Just
Facing the corner. Right?
nope. No, he's just
No.
got it. He's got his hood down, but he's just kind of leaning forward there with a drink in his hand and just
Hiding from the world.
not really paying attention to anything that's going on around him.
Okay. So I'm walking farther back there, and I pull up a squeaky wooden chair to sit at the spot that he is sitting at, too.
Okay.
And I say, I knew I'd find you eventually.
What do you want?
As soon as the Lord and Lady kick him out, there goes the sense of decorum. No. Be like, well, I heard what happened, and I wanted to see what your plans were for what you hope to do next. I mean, now that you don't have to wait on every whim of the Lord and Lady at the manor, your future is open to you. I wondered if you had any ideas about what that future might hold for yourself.
Well,
No
it's
crystal
kind of
balls.
what I'm just mulling over in my head. And I've spent a lot of time and energy serving your parents, even shed blood for them on occasion. And out of all the years of service, and for it to end so abruptly, for doing what I thought was right and taking care of someone that I care about, and I don't know, it just feels like being stabbed and having the blade turned in my stomach.
Well, I know for a fact that our party is known for picking up the straggler every once in a while when we can tell that they have a certain set of skills. And if you would like to follow us to our next destination and see how you can help others using your particular set of skills, the option is open to you. There aren't many doors that are closed to you at this point. So think about that and mull over that while you're looking in your drink as it swirls there in the cup.
He just kind of sits there and has his cup tilted back towards him and just takes a drink of it. Well, it's not as if I haven't had no sense of purpose before. I mean, I had to find my way after I left my old life, and I had to come up with some sense of purpose there. Who knows? Maybe I can go to King's Harbor, find somebody that's looking for some hired muscle or something that is interested in doing some good in the world, and maybe I can do something like that. I don't know.
Well, what do you know? Our party is intending to head to King's Harbor as of tomorrow. And there are lots of places. I'm sure you could find a place that could benefit from your skill set there. And there's even a temple there where I'm sure if you wanted to consult with the clergy at the temple, they might be able to point you in a more specific direction for how your skills can best be used for the creator.
Possibly. We'll see.
Shall we see you on our journey tomorrow then? Kara's looking for a yes,
Well,
no.
I suppose traveling to King's Harbor, it probably would be good to be in a group versus doing it alone or having to wait. I mean, they did say they wanted me out of here, so if you guys are leaving in the morning, then I suppose that works. I don't really have any particular destination right now, so why not?
Then we'll see you in the morning. Ta-ta for now.
Okay. As you get up and walk away, he looks up, which your back's to him, but he looks up and says, "And Kara,
Yes?
thank you for catching me all those years ago. You changed my life, and towards the better. And no action or deed that I do could ever really begin to say thank you for that and the change that you brought about, but thank you."
Don't thank me. Thank the Creator. Only He knows the ends of the choices that we make and the impact they have.
He nods and then goes back to drinking his drink.
He went up a step. he's not just watching it swirl, he's actually digesting the beverage he bought. This is a good sign. My
He
work is
swallows
done
what he
here.
likes.
He's intaking calories in some form.
Okay. So
He's gonna slow us down.
there's that conversation with
It's okay,
Derek.
he can ride
Now fast forward to the evening
over top flop.
after the meeting. What are the rest of you doing while Torvine is having this excursion to the general store? Anybody whatsoever, or are you just going back to your rooms and
Crashing. For the
Crashing.
night, going, it's a good night for an early night.
Sybil's probably getting cleaned up.
yeah, yep,
I mean, there was a lot of bloodshed.
and that is another thing you guys would have, I'm guessing, probably cleaned up a little bit before going and having your meeting. But nonetheless, you guys have your rooms to spend the night. Those of you, I forget if Sybil was sharing the room with anybody.
Yeah, with me.
Okay. You
Claire.
notice, even though, like I said, you guys cleaned earlier and washed earlier, before your meeting, Sybil still goes and seems to go for another bath, at one point, before calling it a night.
The temple's still open before all this, right?
Yes.
I could easily go and go there, and I would like to see what other written materials they have on in creature lore when it comes to Brutum Morbus.
Okay.
Because what I had a good amount, but I don't have all the particulars.
Yeah, the information that you have was basically what you recalled from a few mentions of it in your classes, but that was about it.
Okay, I'm looking into the history of it, because I do have history, and I would like to see what types of ways that when it was encountered, that it was countered with to help society try to fleece it from their towns and stuff.
Okay.
So basically, how they embattled it and how they might have cured it, to see if there's a natural way or a supernatural way with empowerment to be able to battle this disease that they have acquired.
Okay.
Through brutal mortals.
Okay. So you go into the temple, talk to the clerics that are in there still tending to
The
folks.
same humble.
You know from being over in that room where Vlad was enchanting,
That room.
a weapon episodes ago, that is kind of where all of the books were kept.
Right.
They had different shelves for books. So you mentioned to them that you're going in there to look for something in particular. Looking over the different titles and leafing through some of the books, make an investigation check, see what you find.
That's a 2.
Okay. You don't really find anything that talks about particulars of dealing with any of these type of creatures that you would describe Maxold as. There are several books that talk about them similar to what information that you had just from your role of them being considered extinct and not like these type of creatures not being around anymore because of hunts that were done and things like that. Almost like witch hunts, but not. But yeah, they're mainly spoken about in myth and folklore of things that
But there's no.
like
comment
things
of
for like
folklore how
kids
they
to
dealt
say
with it.
like
There's a troll
oh, you
under the
need to
bridge.
not go out into the in the
Right.
middle of the night or whatever because one of these might come and
Would
get
they
you.
bring an example, sort of like the woodsman who killed the wolf with his axe? Only his axe would hurt it. It was a
Yeah,
special
and
axe.
there's different things like that about like that they're exaggerated stories, but of this person going well. When I say exaggerated, it was more of like, oh, this person goes out and then they come across this beast's humanoid form, and they have an axe or something like that, and they use it, but it doesn't seem like it's doing
Effective.
like being that effective, but he pressed on anyway, and the fight went on for days and nights, and then all of a sudden, he came out victorious. Like, something that has a
probably 2
piece of
minutes.
truth to it,
Yeah.
but then at the same time is a little
This is
exaggerated.
what I have to try to filter out of that.
Yeah.
To see,
Yeah.
Sure, like.
Yeah. And with those stories, there's nothing written there talking about how to get rid of this or how to treat it or how to get rid of it or how to cure it or things that work against them. Like, none of that's in there. There's different references about people using different tips that you could pick up to say that like they used fire or fire on like either like a torch or something like that, and the creatures didn't like it, or they tried to stay away from it, or even some mentionings of silver are mentioned a few times, but whether that has any truth to it or not,
Sybil might find it.
so
Okay, trial and error. Would there be anything talking geographical as a origin concept, or where a lot of these things try to make it sound like that when they come out to victimize people, is it daytime, nighttime?
most of the time it's nighttime.
So it's nighttime.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm
most
trying to
of the
pick that up.
stories and folklore deal with not going out at night, or it's just on the brink of dusk and then something is encountered, or
Maybe certain types of night, not just a regular night, but on this certain night.
most of
this
them,
way.
because they are stylized as stories, will depict it as a clear night with the moon directly above,
no clouds.
and things like that, and being very depictive of the scenery, but whether or not that's actually what the weather was like, or whether that has anything to do with it, or whether it's just part of the made up part of it, you're not entirely sure. Obviously, you know that there are actual writings out there that probably go into more in depth of it because it was mentioned in your studies.
Right. So
you
compare.
know that there is writings out there, but it doesn't seem like this library is an extensive library that would have something like
But it does shed some shadowing to that.
yes,
No matter what
there
folklore,
are
just
some revealing
similar.
things too.
And that could be parts of a puzzle to put together for
Correct.
future encounters.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's what I'm looking for, and I'll take notes when I'm reading the books.
Okay.
And I'm not taking books, but I'm now.
Make sure you return in 5 days.
Yeah, or there's a penalty. Libraries are so strict. I would have to say also that Vlad, knowing that Maxwell, because they were all Crimson Blade, and they had ties because there was a letter saying so,
Mm-hmm.
would know that he knew of the secret. Um, and knowing that some people were protecting themselves against the other guys in case something went down, where it got bad, where they had to have an inner squabble, maybe.
Yeah.
So, do I see any evidence of any items that were around there that possibly could have been plated or full bore silver that were in this area that maybe Valed might have had when we checked them out? And also,
No. There's nothing in there that is anything like pure silver or any, daggers or anything that have like a silver plating to it or whatever around the actual edge. But obviously from firsthand account of battling against him that he was able to fly. So number one, he's not on the ground.
Right.
So that makes it more difficult for something that is land-based to attack. And at the same time, he also used primarily fire-based attacks as well. And that kind of...
which might go along with some of the stories.
Yeah. Okay. So...
he
he may have known this secret and may have felt, well, I don't really need to worry about it.
Okay.
However, the other, Gilius, seemed to know that something was different about Maxold, but didn't know what. Because he had that amulet that Sybil has that absorbs fire. So he knew that Vlad dealt or liked fire-based attacks. But he had boots that doubled his speed and whatnot. And then he also had a potion stored away to give him increased strength because he had witnessed some of the feats that Maxold had done because of his ridiculous strength.
Okay.
So obviously these creatures have heightened, yes, attributes to them.
Okay. So strength and speed.
Which you didn't really see his speed being increased, but that you don't know whether or not that was just Gilius just trying to have an edge over it,
that's a good way to have an edge. Speed. I don't advise speed personally, but to be able to move quicker is probably a good advantage. Now, looking through the list, and I did take his herbs that he had in his laboratory. Would I be able to? I've time to myself now tonight, and after I leave here, I can go into my room and I could look to identify all the different and any listings that he has of his inventory, and see corresponding if there's any unique types of herbs that he might have that might have also been for a defense. That he was planning on making something to combat with of a hunch that he may have to protect himself against one of the Crimson Order.
Okay. Going through his notes again, which will take you some time.
Yeah, that'll be when I'm in my room.
Yeah. Besides Maxold and Vlad, he didn't really mention any other members of the Crimson Blade that he was wary of. And Vlad was more of he didn't trust him because you see in kind of his notes in his journal that it was just him and Maxold running things. And he knew that not to trifle with Maxold. And you see a part where he has or receives or finds that potion or makes that potion to enhance his strength because he knew that something was off there or something was enhanced. But then that all changed whenever Vlad came around and Gilius kind of got put on the back burner.
And that's what he got the brazier.
And that was when he, really was. Uh, things just took almost like a 180 of now he kind of, like I said, just gets put on the back burner. Like he's not running anything. He doesn't really have a word in anything. Like still considered a leader, but I can't really say anything, and my word doesn't have any weight anymore.
And he's an excavator.
Yeah, and it seemed like like Vlad was more calling the shots over everything, and it seemed like Maxold was kind of just walking around with his tail between his legs constantly. So it seemed like he was more in preparation for dealing with Vlad than he was
'Cause he was more
Maxold.
the one that messed everything
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
But as for the herbs and whatnot, he has a couple different recipes of combining different types of plants for various different types of effects, whether it's poisoning, paralyzing, putting someone into almost like amnesia, things like that. Things that'll make you hallucinate, like depending on whether
I would
you
understand
know.
some of that because I have brewing potions.
Yeah. So some of it,
Okay.
is things that you mix it with it. Sometimes it's, burning it and having it like fumes and whatnot. There's a variety of different things that he has.
But nothing to try
Nothing for combating anything in particular, just various different things that he had at his disposal that he concocted in case he needed it for, something like, oh, we're going up against, this or that. You know what? I want to have an edge in my fighting, so I'm going to put some kind of poisonous oil or something over my weapon to make them more deadly or whatever. So,
Okay. All right. Well, I'll definitely take them in consideration and to later study them and have it so I can write them in my own notes. And then I would like to test them out. When I am able to put a little bit of small lab up, I mean, I do have a small brewer's kit, but I'm not going to try to, redo a recipe right now. Right?
yeah.
I'm just trying to put parts of the puzzle of what we just went through together.
Yeah, and try to figure out what each side of the coin knew and figure out which member knew and what their goals were and their driving.
And now the power vacuum. And Valed's still alive.
Yeah.
So, barely. He's healed up now, but at that moment he was barely alive. Okay. All right, but that's what I'll do. I'll go after the temple. I go back to my room. Whenever Sybil gets back in there, that's fine too. And I study the notes and the herbs and stuff.
Okay. Vigons, are you doing anything in particular?
No, we're just gonna drive out the night.
Okay. As the two of you are in your room, Dothra looks at Raylog and says, "So, what happened in up at the courtyard? You didn't really tell me what happened. What you went down? What happened? Did you see something or?" So, yes, this is going back to why you went down to one knee. Looking at that individual that was in the courtyard, you saw that symbol on his robes, and you saw how the robes were laid out, and you saw the symbol, the big symbol on the front of him of the dragon breathing fire, and it was colored, the whole 9 yards. And that invoked several visions of that night that you and your sister ran from home. It starts off with you waking up from sleep to screams, and your breathe, like you can hear your own breathing almost, and it's just this heavy breathing, and then it's moves forward to you going down to the first story of your home, and you look out the window and you just see flames coming up from various different buildings and smoke billowing up. You see different figures running across the street, and you see these weird furry forms going back and forth as if chasing these different individuals that you recognize in a way because they're from your home village, but you can't put a name to them, but you know that that's where the setting is. And you see these individuals running back and forth, and then it switches to suddenly you're on the ground. You're prone, and the house seems to have, part of the room that you were in seems to have collapsed, but you're not sure how. But you're underneath some rubble, and your head is just throbbing. You make your way out of the rubble and stand up, and you're just like going back and forth, and you're holding your head, and you look forward and you see your father in front of the house on his knees, and you see a big figure next to him with a gigantic sword in being held with two hands, and you see a smaller hooded form right in front of your father, and you see this form
That's holding the sword.
no, this is the big hulking form that's beside him. So your father's on his knees, and there's this hulking form beside him holding a sword, like basically at the back of his neck. And there's that individual, this hooded individual, directly like looking at your father. And it seems like they're having a conversation. And then the hooded figure turns around your direction, and you don't see a face, but you see the fire and the light, the flicker from the light and the fire go across the front of the robes that he's wearing, and you see a dragon head breathing flame. And then you come to, and your sister is holding on to your shoulder and saying, "Raylog, are you okay? Brother, are you okay?" And you're just like coming to, and you're back in the courtyard in the manor. And you see that individual across the way. And that is the visions that you experienced whenever you were in the manor. So Dothra asks you, what happened? Why did you go down? Like, what happened? Did you remember something, or
Do I know what triggered it, or I just
it seemed
all of a sudden
it
this is
seemed
going on
from
and then I'm
it seemed
just-
that seeing this robed figure and seeing that symbol made there was a connection with it, and it made you remember something from that night that you didn't previously remember. Before you do not remember there being rubble or being buried under rubble, or any of your house being destroyed. You don't remember your father being on his knees, or basically being in an execution style stance of, being defeated or something like that, and what that meant or what happened. You do know that there was, fire and whatnot before, because you've seen that before, of the village burning. You've had visions of that, and you've had visions of people fleeing across the street and coming out of buildings and things like that. But now there are these furry creatures that are in the mix that you're not sure what they are. If you want to make a check to see if you recognize what they could look like, or if you've seen anything like them, you could. But the new information that you got from that is there's a connection with that symbol and the robed figure, supposedly, with something that happened that night. Like, if this is a memory, that robed figure or someone like him was there that night. Something happened to your father. You don't know who that hulking figure is. And now you know that at some point you were buried in rubble for some reason, but you don't know how you got there. And there's these strange furry creatures that were involved as well. So that's the new information that you have.
Okay. So he would try and convey that to Joshua the best that he can. And explain the new information and I guess what triggered that situation during the time.
She listens to you and then, okay. Sounds like, I mean, what you're saying makes some sense based off of when I found you, but you're saying that this figure was there that night? Or someone like him?
Would I know if this is the person or just
I mean, it
someone wearing-
looks pretty stinking close. Like, it's, I mean, granted, you are dealing with being in the middle of the night, and the thing that you are going off of is the fire flickering light coming off of his garments and seeing that symbol. So, you're going off of that. But someone very similar to that individual that you guys met in the manor courtyard was there that night.
and like same size.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Different parents.
But it's. I don't remember if I ever told you about father. Just because there was so much that happened. But father's gone. He didn't make it. When I found you, you were collapsed in the doorway of the house, and you were still breathing, so I knew you were still alive. But I brought you with me, but our father, he didn't make it. But those figures that you're talking about, they weren't there, so I don't. That must have been before I got to the house. It still doesn't explain much. And those, you said there was furry creatures or something. That was probably the orcs that we chased. Be my guess, because there was. I mean, that night I fought quite a few, but okay, well, that's new news, I guess. Let us figure out what that connection is. Okay. I just wanted to check because I mean I wasn't sure what it was, and there was a lot that you went through that's still kind of a mystery. I wasn't really there for it, so. But let me know if you need anything. And she goes to getting ready for sleep. Anybody else want to do anything?
I'm studying herbs.
Okay. So you guys you continue to study your herbs. Everybody kind of does their own thing and eventually goes to sleep. And the next morning comes. And you guys are greeted once again with the smell of bacon, eggs, and food creeping up through the floor.
Hopefully nobody has a stomach bug.
Yes, hopefully.
Oh, I have reminiscent thoughts of Conlon.
I bring one to every meal.
Does he cook
So
sausage?
that the appealing smells of breakfast are not so appealing anymore. We use it on our worst enemies.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So what are you guys doing?
Same road, cannibal.
It's time to light the lights. It's
Light
time
the
to dress
beacons.
up right. It's time to get things started.
All right. So you guys go and have your breakfast.
Yeah. Hey, Kara, you talked to the D-man?
Yes, I talked to Derek.
Oh. How'd that
I
go?
did.
He
I did
didn't
talk.
seem to be overly chipper when he left all the tongue lashing that your father did.
Oh, it was still that way. He
Oh.
definitely was a boat adrift without an anchor. Although he says he's been in that place before, but it didn't look like he was coping with it any better than before. So I invited him to join us on our journey to King's Harbor, and I said he might find more guidance for his next step at King's Harbor.
Well,
So
I'm
he's
sure
supposed to
Sybil-
join us.
Yeah, Sybil would
I don't
like
know if
to
he's here
see
yet.
him. Yes.
Hope he gets down here before the bacon's gone.
Oh, I'll put some in my pocket and save him some.
Oh, I'm sure he wants your pocket junk on his bacon.
Oh, no. I licked out my pocket earlier. Did you turn it inside out?
Junk.
Can you clean it out?
That'd even be a serving.
Your pocket lint.
Well, I have two pockets.
Why is this bacon furry? I thought you said you stowed it somewhere safe.
It's fine. I'll just lick it off
It's
then.
growing something. Why
Really?
does this taste like berries?
That's a bonus.
Why can't it taste like a life potion?
Well, we can alter
They even
that.
taste good.
Yeah, I have this
I
vial
don't
of
think you
weak
want this
acid I could
bacon.
put in there if you want.
He might have sat on it. Who's in the wrong pocket?
Well, pocket sausage too. That's good.
Ah,
So does
Poor
Derek show
Derek.
up?
He is not down there when you guys are eating breakfast.
That's correct.
maybe he wanted to get an early start. Maybe he wants to beat us to King's
Well,
Harbor.
there's a
I don't know.
possibility he does like the woods,
I know.
and maybe he's going to talk to one of your old buddies that had a root cellar you talked about. Maybe there's some friends he would like to.
Maybe he'd rather have Oak as a traveling companion. I don't know.
Do you know where Oak is?
He's out in the woods. He ain't staying in the mud hole.
I wouldn't have minded it. I mean, I watched
Neither
him
would
die.
have I. But the proprietors would probably mind.
I think they're up for just about anything that we've helped them do.
I mean, they already had a sign that said, "No house cats. We don't want our furniture scraped up. We're not putting a bear in there."
What would it be like if we put a bear?
They don't like cats.
They
Here's
have
a bear.
Different habits, different grooming habits. No one goes around kicking a bear out.
Bigger
of the bed.
claws.
They do cats.
I don't think the table legs would survive the clawing.
He doesn't claw. He just scratches if a bug irritates his shoulder blade. Or he scratches back on one of those big supportive posts holding up that banister. It wouldn't be.
You mean the
detrimental.
one that your room is sitting over top? No.
I can joke. I've had worse dreams.
Don't we know?
Well, I try not to let everyone know about them, but I mean, it's nice to be open about certain things.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, point is, Derek's not here.
Well, since we do know in his heart he would like to join us, we do not want to depart without him. So we need to locate him to make sure he doesn't go on his own.
Last time I saw him, he was down here eating at the mud hole.
It's a good thing he has two legs. We know he probably went out in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Okay, so you guys are finishing eating your breakfast, and then you are going to the gate.
I mean, he knows that we stayed at the inn.
Well, shouldn't we
we're
at least
fine.
go
Nice
to
day.
the friends of your resistance to say goodbye and
I guess so.
thanks for surviving and orchestrating this
I was
together?
trying to avoid the root
Thanks for being
cellar.
alive.
Yeah, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be able to help us. Yeah.
We might as well Although I was hoping to avoid visiting the root cellar again.
Well, you don't have to go through the trap door.
True.
Under the table. That's where I was told.
Mm-hmm. True.
I was down there once. Yes, I was.
Yes, you were.
They have good onions
Yep.
down there.
So as you guys come out of the inn, are you
Come out
going
of the
to?
inn, I like that. Mhm.
Are you going straight to Safi's house, or
There is.
Are we stopping
I'm not
at the
looking at the
temple
map.
or anything?
If we leave, are we number 5? Yeah.
You already went on your shopping trip, so we're not
Yeah,
backtracking
we're at
to the
number
general
5.
store.
Can we take a shortcut?
Oh no.
We don't have to follow the roads, right? I don't see a sign to keep off the grass, if there is such thing in this town.
I mean, we did just have a battle.
Yeah, we could just.
I think so long as you're not hacking and chopping and blasting people.
Yeah,
away,
don't
you'll be
machete
fine.
the bushes. Yes.
I mean, they do call their most honorable guest establishment the Mud Hole.
I would like just to go.
the
from-
old mud?
Yeah, it doesn't dry
It's
up.
not a
that
new
mean
one.
there's a
It's an
new one?
old.
There is a new one?
butthole.
There's a spring underneath. it
Now that
keeping
they
it
have a
going.
new lease on life,
Yeah.
there's going to be a new one built.
Okay.
Smack dab in the middle of the dining room.
Yeah,
2020
yeah.
slowed it down. but
It's
now
good for your
it's-
complexion. Just rub it on
it's
your
going
face
to
when you're
start.
done eating. It dries up. Okay, a mud mask after eating.
Mhm.
Okay. I would like to go. Actually, instead of walking around the block, which is a country mile, I would like just to then take a shortcut and go across to the temple.
Okay. Go over to the temple, and doors are open.
Okay.
What are you looking to do?
I didn't look
Or
at the
talk
map.
to-
Havoc.
I'm in charge
I know
now.
this is.
Are there still wounded people on the ground that are not wounded?
Help!
because of
Did
the-
I hear help?
If they're hungry, I still got sausages in my front pocket.
Hero!
I got the bacon in my back pockets.
This bacon's so good, it's bound to heal you straight up.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
put some
trying to
bacon
flatten it by
grease on
sitting
it.
for you.
Just put some
I know
bacon
how
grease
wrinkly
on
is,
it.
and that can be distracting when you're biting it. Okay.
It'll keep and keep and keep, and it'll be yours to eat and eat and eat.
It's like a bacon fruit roll up. Yeah, I would like to go to the head cleric.
Okay.
You with the head.
And I have the notes on, but my notes are kind of scary.
You're talking about the one that you guys.
Yeah,
went
the guy
to.
with the curly hair.
Judson.
Judson. Oh, he sounds
An old
Rock
Judson.
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 Okay. Okay. I would like to again thank him for coming from Kings Harbor and helping to secure the town for a more future that's going to be based upon goodness from the Creator to straighten up the wrongs that have been implemented in this town for years.
We can't just turn a blind eye to people that need help.
Yes.
We're happy to come and help. Lend a hand and best we can.
Yes, and I will come back if I'm still alive from time to time, and I would like to see the progress of the town. And I might even buy something here now and then.
I'm sure the townsfolk would enjoy that.
And so would I.
You guys are practically heroes.
Obviously, with the help of the Creator, we'd be just normal, common day people as yourself. If not from the Creator, we are in our debt for our abilities.
Oh, absolutely. But things have all the abilities in the world, but having the fortitude to actually do good with them and actually make a difference in the world is another thing entirely.
May that spread from this temple also. Then at that word, I depart and say, have a good day, and may your endeavors...
Conscience be your guide.
Yeah. May your endeavors be plenty.
And
We're
you
off
as well.
to see the wizard.
Let's hope not.
Okay.
We've
make
seen
sure
enough
That
of
would not
him.
turn out well.
Make sure
We've
you got
seen
some
enough
berries
of
by
him.
that door too. It's always nice.
There's already a
Oh, awesome.
The bowl.
I didn't look up. Are they in a
A
razor
whole
or
bowl.
are they-
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let's go find.
May
the
be
demon.
real berries, they may be fake berries, but there are berries.
Chomps
Yeah.
into one. Hey, this is wax.
It's a fake cluster of grapes.
They put wax berries in here.
Interesting. Okay. Don't be in the sunlight. You'd be a glob. Okay.
My goodness.
Budget cutbacks.
Eventually, we get out the door. This sounds a lot like Sundays.
All right.
Eventually, we get out the door.
Okay, so where are you guys leaving now? Okay.
Vamoosing.
So you guys head towards the gate. As you get to the gate, there is a familiar face at the gate, standing there, leaning up against the post.
Mr. Two Swords.
Did he give Sybil her?
Well,
sword
you
back?
guys certainly enjoyed sleeping in today, or you had some things that you were doing after you woke up.
Torvine saved you some fat back.
Well, it's good to bring some food on the road.
fat
I mean, I already
bacon.
had my breakfast, but
Oh yeah, this is like secondsies.
This has fiber.
he knows about second breakfast, doesn't he? And
This
thirds?
is a good sign.
Afternoon
You
tea?
should join the party.
That's right. I'm not gonna hit him in the head with a fruit. That's a fake berry.
Instead of a tomato.
All right,
It's good for your skin. Fuck up.
let's, I guess if everybody's ready,
I
let's,
have my mud mask on.
let's head
I'm
out.
good.
Okay, so you guys head out and make your way back to King's Harbor. You go a full day without issue,
Oh, I thought
and
And then an issue.
you come to, it's getting dark out, and you guys are in need of making camp, or you can try to go to
No, we're gonna
a.
make camp.
Okay. Okay.
There's no need to walk constantly. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to go to one of the other neighboring villages or towns or whatever that.
There is one off in the road.
Yeah, I mean, there's different parts where the road veers off into a direction. I mean, you guys know which way you're going to King's Harbor, so I don't know if you want to go, an hour or 2 or 3, off the beaten path, so to speak, to go
So
to a
there's an
village,
exit number.
just
that
to
we
have
just
a
go on
feathered
off-ramp?
bed, so to speak.
I don't know. We have a ranger and a bear. We have another fellow who acts like a ranger. I've been dirty, and we have a barbarian and a fighter. I don't know. Do we want to camp, or do we want to find the fluffy pillow in the next town? I don't think they accept bears in their establishment. Due to scrap.
I'm okay, just being on the road, Derek says, but
I'm fine with that as well, says Cara.
Yeah, we don't have to go to a village or anything.
Raylog and Dom are saying they don't have beds our size anyway.
probably not.
It's
Possible.
less comfortable indoors for us.
Okay. So you guys find a spot along the road.
About 20, 30 feet
Yep.
off from here.
And then we go.
Throughout the day, I'm going to say those of you that I know some are going to be keeping an eye on the road just to make sure you guys don't get ambushed. But either 1 or 2 of you can make awareness checks if you wish. It's up to
Probably
you.
some of you that newly put more points into awareness want to show off your new ability.
Shh. Okay.
I don't even know what mine is.
I just needed one.
I do have a copy of Sybil's
Right.
stuff.
Okay.
She's not rolling.
I get a 10 out of
Oh.
45.
Okay, that's what we need.
Okay. Well, if anybody else wants to roll, I mean, that's up to you too. I mean,
I will too, because that way I don't get ambushed.
Close enough.
Plus you guys. You could be on top of each other's shoulders a little bit. You could practice that kind of thing. You were trying to do it earlier. stand on shoulders and throw each other.
Yeah.
That'd be 22 out of
Introducing
65.
the tumbling tower.
You both
twins.
notice throughout the day, Sybil seems to be sweating a lot more than would make sense for just, casually walking and traveling and whatnot. And she also seems a little bit more pale than.
I would, during that time frame, I would offer her some water.
Okay.
I have a flask.
Mm-hmm.
Thou dost not look good, thou dost not smell good. What dost thou?
I'll give her a berry of purifying.
Hop on oak for a bit.
She takes the
don't barf
water
on the
and she
first.
just takes a good couple gulps
Detoxification.
of water and she's like, "Thank you." It's very tired for some reason, just very worn out. I don't know what it is. Thank you, and she hands the flask.
Have you been feeling your pain lately? That you
No, I
in
don't have
your
a
shoulder?
pain. I just feel just exhausted and tired. Just-
Maybe your thyroid is wrong.
It's that neck bracer. A little tight.
I'll look for some herbs and see maybe I could spice that up a little bit for you.
You've been doing some neck exercises. You bulked up too much. Need to lose this.
She looks paler.
Yeah.
Does she possibly
like some of the color in her skin is.
Yeah, not peak as
Zap.
pale. Does other than her color, does she kind of give off a different type of eye profile?
Not other than someone that is having just not feeling well. Just seems like she is.
You look sick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It looks like you should be having the chills, fever.
Yeah,
something
not a
like
whole
that.
shebang.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you caught something. And we've had a lot of things enter our bodies that probably could cause some sort of infection that you
love it.
have. I mean, healing doesn't always get rid of everything. So it kind of seems like you have a nasty something that's in you. When we get back, we need to have you looked at. It's the wise thing.
Care
Yeah.
to ride oak for a bit?
If he's okay with that, I would be grateful.
Is that
Sounds
his
like
horn?
a seal.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? Putting the big, shiny, sweaty, sickly-looking person on top of
All right.
that bear for don't puke on the fur.
You chose this life of
Thought somebody had a horse.
Technically, there's one on my list, but it's
It was
never.
back.
It's
It was
never appeared.
tied up back at Kings Harbor.
Yeah, I don't think we took it.
Okay. All right. So
You'll get the
Whether
money.
my bear and my
she
horse
cautiously
will get along is
but
another
eventually climbs up on Oak and kind of just rides along, even though it's not the most comfy thing in the world, without a saddle or anything, but it's better than walking.
There's a tuft of hair on the shoulder.
All right. So eventually, dusk comes and you guys are setting up camp off the road. Finish having a meal, cooking some things up, or eating berries or whatever you guys are planning on doing for food.
Reviving bacon.
Reviving the bacon.
Hey, it's been warm in my pocket. For
What are
a
you
while.
guys doing
That's not what
for
we had.
watches?
Night watches.
Um,
You know what this means? Something is going to happen. There will be an incident this time. Anytime we break down the watch.
Not necessarily.
no.
Last night we didn't break down the watch.
I'll take the first watch.
Okay.
I'll take the second one, says Carl.
I think Sybil should keep her rest. I don't think she needs to be.
I can take her
We have
watch.
enough
Derek
humans.
says I can overwatch.
Very noble. Yes, that's fine. Understandable.
No, on the bike, I'm too close.
So you guys doing? So you guys are doing 2 hours, 2 hour shifts.
Yeah, 2 hour shift.
Yep.
Okay. Around.
NBC or CBS or CNN or
No.
our opinions are 50 times more valid than that. Just saying.
All right. So
My
awareness check.
awareness. I got a 23.
Okay. Out of
It says, 65.
okay. You don't sense anything or see anything, hear anything out of the ordinary. Occasional rustle in the tents and
Sounds like
whatnot from people
normal
rotating and whatnot.
Okay. And I, of course, walk around a little, a perimeter walk.
Mhm.
Okay. Next person would be Kara.
Tis I.
Okay.
Grace us with your.
I awake,
So you
Yes.
and I pace the perimeter.
you make an awareness check.
210.
And 85 out of 45.
We're
So-
aspiring for a higher number.
You wander around
In my
and
dreams, that's my life.
go on patrol around the encampment. And then at one point,
Did he wake up the next
you sit down on a log or a rock, and
Thump.
Oak comes up and just kind of sits there with you and whatnot because he wakes up a little bit after you do, and
Mhm.
ends up coming over, and you're just spending time with him and just bonding time between the two of you, and you're not spending time really paying attention to surroundings,
Bitch.
like you probably
Mistake.
should be.
Way to throw the ranger under the bus.
This
Be
is
like,
second
she
month.
was focused on the animal,
Is this midnight?
Yes.
not
Oh,
the
my blessed
bewitching hour. Does this mean if
It's
Jimmy
very
cracked?
ambiguous.
Does this mean if Jimmy cracks
Okay.
corn, I have to care because it's midnight?
Alright.
You are assassin.
These earthworms enter your body.
At least it's not the gypsy moth. You gotta do.
Where are my D50s?
Doing the mapping.
Okay. What is Dothra's whiz save?
She's a smarty.
Dothra wakes up in the middle of the night to, when you are sleeping and then something kind of jerks you awake, and it's like it's a pain, like something hurts, but in your sleep it kind of is like numb, kind of, but then when you wake up, like, oh, what is that? Ow! Like I did something to my leg, or I
Like
hit
your arm fell
something, or
asleep.
whatever. She wakes up, and she wakes up and her head's to the side, and then her eyes open, and all of a sudden there is this pain in her abdomen area of something just hurts, like it feels like she just got cut, and she looks up, and she hears this.
Apparently Oak didn't like
In the tent, and she sees this furry figure over top of her lower part with these long claws coming out of its hands and a long
Notice he said
exaggerated
hands, not
snout.
paws.
No, I said claws coming out of its
You said claws coming out of its hands.
well hands.
I
like
was
it's-
listening.
Well, it looks like there's
I have a pencil, I'm
5
sketching.
digits.
I'm sketching the
How
problem.
else would you say it? It's not a paw.
Appendage?
That's like an arm. That's like claws coming out of like your wrist.
The point is, I had a
Anyway,
humanoid
It's hard being story.
picture.
It is, yes.
It's hard being married to
So
one of
she
the
wakes
players.
up to that, and
I can't argue.
she lets out a scream.
No,
Toravine, Raylog, and Derek need to make whiz saves to see if they recognize
Is there
it.
a minus?
Kara, you hear it as well. No, it's just straight up.
Oak
Read.
sits.
Civil too.
Oak starts lumbering
Sure.
in the direction of the commotion.
She doesn't have to roll. She is doing it.
I don't know.
He's about to find out what's up.
Derek makes it as well. You guys wake up to a shrieking, blood-curdling scream of someone in pain.
Do you know what Sybil needs? You want to roll for her?
I could. I rolled a 3.
I have all of
Yeah.
Sybil's stuff.
Would that be a notable for me? I rolled a 3 for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling for Sybil. You're right.
I will roll for Sybil. if she
I
needs
didn't
to
roll anything. You're doing all the rolls.
Yes. I'm
I was just
piloting
going by
Sybil and Derek and
Your Sybil and
partially
company?
Dothra as well.
Yeah.
What's that?
Your Sybil and company.
Yes. Yes, quite literally. All right.
A party company.
Okay, so you guys wake up to this blood-curdling scream.
Who left the TV on?
You hear a scream
Who's
come
watching
from
YouTube
the camp.
in their tent at midnight?
You
Yes.
hear a scream
know
come
what
from
that
the tent.
Me and Oak
From the
take
camp.
off in that direction.
Okay.
10 feet away.
Yes. A wall.
What
of
are the
them
rest of you
10
guys
feet.
doing?
Raylock didn't notice.
The bear lumbers
Okay.
over the mountain.
I'm making
Dot-
sure I have my shield.
Or
and
Derek
stuff,
did,
And I'll look around.
and what was that?
I'll look around for where I am, making sure I secure my shield.
Okay. You are in your tent, minding your own business.
Roll your surprise and run like crazy.
What you doing? Where are you going?
Out of the tent.
Just Dothra.
No, you.
Oh,
Torvine.
I thought you were talking about Dothra and the tent.
You said that you
Twiglet.
checked to see if.
Yeah, from the direction that I heard it as I'm acquiring my shield.
Okay.
Because I'm not sleeping on my shield.
Mm-hmm.
The direction I hear, you said I saw the tent. And I understand there's a Vigon who sleeps in the
Yeah, you
tent.
guys, I'm
That
assuming
collects
probably have
flowers.
your tents in like a circle formation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we didn't set it up. It's a good
Like, does
defensive
each
way.
person have their own, or maybe some have two?
I
I
mean,
sleep in the
mine is
open.
empty, obviously. So
Yeah. I almost climbed a tree, but I decided not to.
that's too much camouflage.
Well, being a twig and all, it's true.
Yep. I mean,
I
the
mean, I could
birds
lay
might
on the
mistake
ground
you.
and still be camouflaged.
Yeah, then I look like a dead twig. I want to be alive.
If a bird accidentally sits on you or tries to weave you into the nest,
Yeah,
then
that's
you've got
not cool.
problems.
Yeah.
But there's a berry for that.
It's weird when a bug crawls on you and tries to mimic you like a stick bug.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Then you wonder how many arms you have.
Mm-hmm.
So would there be 6 things?
Yes, I have to.
Find the
Yeah, I'm trying to find all
Well,
the
from here, they
pieces.
look like cocoons. We were all wrapped up by spiders. Oh, that's next episode. Now, the bear scratched your back. Did you scratch? No, you scratched his. Did he scratch yours?
Hopefully not. He's like, forget you.
I go through so much armor this way.
No wonder I keep taking hits.
Those are the lower section. I mean the upper parts of the trees.
This will be the other time. Yes, those are the upper. Those are the trees. Okay. So you wake up.
Yeah, where
And,
am I in which area? And in the tent that sounded like the scream came from. I would like to know that first.
East, west,
Um,
north, south, south by southwest.
You would have heard the scream come from this direction.
And I am.
I don't know. Where do you think that you would
Where's
be?
the road?
Like here?
Where's
The
the road?
road's this direction.
I'm that direction.
So you would have been
Yep.
here then. Okay.
You got it.
So you come out of your tent and you would have heard it right next to you, which actually makes kind of sense with your roll and whatnot being so high.
I apologize.
Derek would be on the opposite side, so he's over there.
Doesn't want to be next. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll come out the side next to the fire
Okay.
of the tent.
Yeah, this is the fire there.
Yeah.
So you're coming out, and
That's
I
for
have
my
to get
future bacon
miniatures.
March of the Minis.
Okay, you come out, and
Do I see the backside of something sticking out of a tent? The tent is
I don't have Derek. I don't think.
probably
Yes,
might not
you do.
house everything that entered the tent.
He's in one of those. I think. No, he's in that one. He's
Because
in, like,
there's
the
a-
very bottom, I
A
think, or the
Vigon
second
in
layer.
the tent and something else. So there's a possibility there's some hiding corners of whatever's causing her to scream.
I did because I did some rearranging. Okay, what's that?
Would I see the backside of whatever's making
Yes,
her
you
scream?
see a tail sticking out of this direction.
Oh,
coming out of
it's
the tent.
strength check time. I'm gonna run over to the tail
Okay.
and I'm gonna grab it, and I
Okay.
want to try to pull it back with a string check.
Okay.
If I roll good, I'll get it.
Dothra at the same time sees you show up and grab the tail and tries to use her legs and kick this whatever it is out into the open. So you can do this with
Help.
yes 4.
Add 4 to my target. Rolled a 7, and my target with that extra help was a 17.
Okay.
So let me look to see what that is. That is a major success.
Okie dokie, boy.
This is
And
where
car.
you guys are.
Okay.
What kind of tail does it feel? A wolf type?
Yeah.
Okie dokie, boy.
Okay. Now, because I have creature lore, would it feel
Um,
like an
and-
enhanced wolf concept, or maybe even?
It's
I've
a
read about
weird
war.
it's a weird setup, but it's not unfamiliar to you, even though this is in the middle of the night and there's only a little bit of light from the campfire. But the colors that you can make out is a silver fur with a hint of like a black line that comes down from the back section down to the tip of the tail. But the rest of it
do I
seems like a
feel
silver
a weird
gray
temperature
look.
to it?
A weird temperature.
Yes.
I mean, it is warm, but
Okay.
any creature that really has fur on it's going to be a little bit warm.
Well, it's just the idea if it had natural, I guess, effects or like hot or cold based supernatural mix to it. But it just feels like natural
Mhm.
fur.
Yeah.
And I grab the
Yep.
whole of it. Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm giving it a yank, and I'm going to try to back up. Like, if I can, if I feel it give, I will use my special bonus action jump.
Okay.
15 feet and jump over the fire,
Okay.
hanging on.
So
to
you
it.
go over here and you pull it back, and the fire's over here, so you
Yeah.
don't really have to worry about jumping over.
Right, but I want to jump over, hanging on to the creature. When I'm on the other side of the fire, the creature should be between a tent and me, and the fire is in the middle. I would like to see if I could drop it on the fire because I'm jumping back at an angle across it.
So you're jumping this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if I can feel enough give, like I
Yeah,
feel
it just
like
it's like
yeah.
it's coming out.
Okay. All right. I like to flap it down onto the fire.
Okay. You come out with it, and you just see this silver. Okay, don't worry about it. I mean, we can leave it go for now. Yeah, as long as it had 2 bars starting, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
It went down to 1.
We were concerned.
So you pull, and there's help coming from the inside of the tent, which helps this kind of come out so easily. And you see this full, like, humanoid woven form with silver-like fur with a black line coming down from its mid-back, come emerging out of the tent, and you bring it down across the fire and land with it being in the fire. And you hear this from it being landing into the fire.
Does it seem to be medium-sized creature or
Yes.
small?
Yeah.
It
Yep.
is medium.
Yep.
Okay. Is it just it's humanoid?
Yes.
And it has what is it wearing if it's humanoid?
A little bit of armor, like mismatched armor.
Does it look familiar?
Mm,
Is there identifiers on it?
Yeah.
Symbols on it? Because
yeah, it's got mismatched armor on. That's it. Doesn't have like any shields or bucklers on it at the moment.
any robes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a very unique eye-shaped robe on it.
That's one of the items that we got from the box.
Mhm.
So we know. Okay, I'm just surmising this. This is our sick friend who is not herself. Sort of like is it Maxwell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sort of like Maxwell, but yet I think this is Sybil. I use it in my free act. And I say it loud enough for everyone to hear in the square where I am. And that's the D-man right there, right?
Okay. Derek says, "What are we doing?"
Subduing.
Okay. Roll initiative, I guess.
Yep.
Figure out so we know who's going at what time. Raylog wouldn't be rolling. Dothra can roll.
Does Raylock get to roll again to see if it's up?
That will be at the end of the round.
Yeah. And I said that really loud, so that should help. And we're trying to subdue her.
Okay.
We're pretty sure this is
Pulled
Sybil.
out your megaphone. And
That's
aimed
the
it, and
okay,
aimed it
listen
at
up.
his head. You played the little siren before you did it.
All right.
Like air horns.
0 to 5. 2.
You got a 3. You get it. I got 2. Dothra's first.
Well, that's
Or
a decision.
Dothra's after. Did you roll for Sybil?
So all of a sudden,
Sybil
I have
Bibble
I'm 3.
or Jerry Song.
All right, and I'm still hanging on to her tail.
Of course.
Well, that's how I flung her into the fire from my jump.
Okay. And then whenever Raylog comes in, just hail in. All right. First up is Kara.
Yippee!
She's doing karaoke over there.
Okay. I am definitely going to use my bow.
I yelled to subdue her.
Subdue me?
Sybil.
Okay.
This is Sybil in the fire that I flung in there.
Okay.
But I have realized she's been poisoned by something like Maxwell and has taken a form similar to him, but she needs to be subdued. So that way we can see about whatever this is to get out of her.
Okay. That's why I am aiming low. I am not aiming to maim or anything like that. I'm aiming low.
Oh, you hit the D-man.
'Tis a 7,
I guess it is anymore.
which is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Again. Ooh, a 13, which is a 16. Better. Okay. And damage.
What's at least 3?
14 for damage.
Oh.
No response.
So, where were you taking a shot?
Back from over there.
On the other side of D-man?
Yeah.
So go towards him,
Yeah.
like 4 squares.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, D-man's directly between them right now.
Yeah.
I would think she would have to go towards you physically to go 4 squares.
One more that way.
This way?
Yeah. One more that way.
There we go. All right. So,
You have a lot of
you
movement
shoot,
points.
and there's a coming from the fire. When you loose an arrow, and it's the side of this creature.
I assume it took damage from falling into the fire.
Mhm.
I mean, we're not.
All right.
gonna kill her.
Dothra is up.
Well, not yet. She's in the tent.
Wakey, wakey!
She's awake, but not physically up. I mean,
Stuff is
she's awake,
happening
I
out
mean,
here!
She has to get, which is
Come
happening.
out.
Come out,
have
wherever you are.
Armor on.
I'm
Woke up
assuming you
with her.
guys are sleeping at least with your like armor.
Okay.
May not have like your shields and your swords and everything.
No, and that's why I.
Yeah, I mean, she'll grab those. And
So I'm
They'll
gonna
be
say
your
your free
bonus
action
action.
and your bonus action are taken up. You have your movement and your action.
okay. Yeah, she'll move out. She'll take a swing.
Okay. There you'll get a. Well, it is technically prone right now because it hasn't gotten up, so you'll get a plus.
And it's
4.
grappled.
Yeah. Well, it's not grappled, but it's.
I have her
prone.
tail.
Yeah, but
She can't move. She can flounder,
Yeah,
True.
she can still move around.
Yeah.
as a wolf.
but she's not going.
Like, kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's gonna break that. I got lucky and rolled low, and I had help.
So I have you said a +2 is armor.
Four.
Oh, +4. So she did 19.
Hits.
Would you like to do non-lethal damage?
Yeah.
So hit it with
I
the
mean,
side of your weapon
does
instead of.
she understand that though?
It doesn't matter what she understands. I said subdue. That she would know how to hit by subduing instead of trying to kill.
Okay.
Yes. So she's thinking, I want to knock it out. I'm not trying to kill it, and she would use the blunt side of her.
So is there? So
It doesn't
I guess
change
what
at
do I
all.
do?
You just say, I'm using my weapon in a non-lethal way.
Okay.
And so you would hit it with force, but not trying to destroy. So
Okay.
you would use the flat of your blade concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm hitting her with the intent to not
doing it to subdue.
Okay. So do I roll damage
Unless you shoot
with that, or
arrows.
like?
Oh yeah, you still roll
Okay.
damage.
Does
yeah.
that reduce it?
No, what it does is it puts it in a non-lethal damage category instead of full damage of lethal damage. So when it goes down, she still has non-lethal damage she took that will keep her from dying. It'll make her unconscious.
Not bleeding out.
Yeah. Unless you harbor some ill will towards her, have at it.
And 22.
22 points.
Yep.
Is that one hit?
Was one hit, yeah. And she did a 12.
And this is
I was already on my first swing, so okay. Another 22.
okay. Gorgon.
I will pull her out of the fire,
Okay.
and then I would like to do sleep on her.
Okay.
Let me look at the particulars. I'm pretty sure, because she had sleep. I think I picked it up also. I don't see it here though. So, oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So the whiz save modifier is -6 to her wisdom check.
Okay.
I pulled her out of the fire so she wouldn't keep burning and sleep wouldn't be effective because she'd be taking damage.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. So as I pull, I'll make sure she's back from the fire about 10 feet.
You see, like, as you're pulling, like, she is
Yeah.
like trying to get away from you, but you are just.
How's that go again? No.
That's my girl. Okay.
And
And
eventually she turns around and looks like she's okay. Now my focus is on you because you're not letting go of my tail. And then you use sleep.
okay. And now she succumbs to that.
Pulls it in
She
the fire.
failed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She
is there a
flubs
life
it.
die or anything that you have to hit?
I'm sure I have enough, but I didn't roll. But it's 5d6.
Yeah, I don't think she has that much life die. I know how much she has left.
That's 6 full life die.
Which is
Oh, well, think about it. She's 10 levels, right? She's
She leveled up.
four. Oh, no, she's 5.
I know how many life.
Well, how many levels does she have in each class? It might not be enough.
4.5.
In each? So it's 9 levels. And I only did 6.
Is that before or after level?
So that's
This is
after
her
level.
new
She's
number
already leveled
5
up.
to this recent.
Okay.
She's leveled up. So it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have enough to do that. But yeah, I'm hanging onto her tail. She's out of the fire, and I wasn't able to do enough life force worth of sleep against.
Okay. So you try to use sleep, and you see it start to take effect, and then it just seems like whatever
She shrugged it off,
rage is
yeah.
going on in there is shrugging it off, and she's not.
24. Okay, all right. Just bad rolls. I'll try it again later. But I just didn't roll good enough. It is doable. It's just I didn't roll good enough. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm holding on to her, and that was this attack action, movement. I would like to use my free action and tell her, Sybil, I know that's you in there. We are trying to stop you from harming us and yourself. please calm down, and I will use battle surge, and I will get more defensive rating with my charisma.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm not gonna hop around like.
Alright.
Yeah, so.
Derek's turn.
I would like to use my charisma when I did that, though.
Persuasion?
Yes,
Okay.
we kind of have a little bit of a rapport. I rolled a 5.
I did too.
But what's the save, though? My charisma was not that great. Oh, it's better than mine. Yeah, I only have a 12, I think, in charisma. Roll under, so yours is better than mine. Yeah, I was hoping you rolled an 18. So, hey, you gotta start somewhere.
She growls.
Yes, those nobles are hard to get through to.
Derek goes up and
that was a great success, too.
takes out two just
Hers was a
generic
major.
swords that he has and just tries to hit her
Clubber. Yeah, with the
with
hilts.
the butt end.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to get her out of the fire.
Natural 20.
Well, good. Good.
The other one did not hit. That is a.
Yeah. And I repeat, this is not a dream. I repeat, this is not a dream. What happens is what happens. And everyone looks weird at me.
Okay. And then it's her turn. She takes 2 swipes at you, Tor. You are holding the
I'm
tail.
impeding her progress.
Yes.
You
Sybil, I wish that I rolled like you, but I am not.
Mr. 20 over there.
It was not quite a 20, but it was close.
Yeah. Well, she's using her paws.
Yeah, so it'd be 2 less.
It's her strength. Her battle chart isn't strong. 16 misses because of
Okay.
my size.
That's the best roll.
It was close. It glanced off me. She did hit, but it glanced.
Oh, actually, no, that would be 2.
Because she has a -2 to swing at me. But ignore that. I just add my +2 to my deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And I have battle surge. It gives me another +2.
I would have missed regardless, even if I'm having to do some of the things here.
Yeah.
Why? Because she didn't update this because she didn't know about it.
Right.
All right. So then it goes Raylog making a whiz save to see if he wakes up from the ensuing battle.
No.
Nope.
Is there a modifier to
Hey,
it?
Kara.
He rolled a 16. He's not
Yeah, there's no modifier. Where are you're dreaming about a dragon and fire right
I
now.
don't know.
You're gonna wake up sweating. Yeah. There's a bear in that tent.
You're up.
Okay.
You saw the D-man smack her with the backside of his weapons.
Oh my lord.
So he wasn't using the blades.
He was not. Okay. Oh boy.
You're gonna shoot your arrows backwards so the fletching hits?
Okay. Oak is going to move farther forward.
Oh, we're gonna have an animal fight.
Do I have a lazy?
We just might sit back and watch.
Yes, I just called it a lazy pointer. Do I have a lazy pointer? Pointer for lazy people. Yes, I do. There we go. Okay, so Oak is going to move. He's going to come up to
The D-man
this spot right here
next to the tent.
that he's kitty corner to Derico. And Kara is going to peep out this side.
And look over the fire. The flaming turtle.
Okay, and if I go one more forward, does that count as flanking or no?
Range
If I-
units don't get flanking.
Okay. All right.
They just
I
get
forgot.
unaware.
Okay. And from there, I will use my bow.
Yeah.
Ooh, goody, goody, goody. Yes, that is a 19, which is a 22.
There you go. You have
Good hit.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a nice battle
Better.
chart you got now.
I know, right? Not that it was terrible before. And
Well,
a
sometimes you can have like the greatest battle chart.
It's up
And
to the
there's-
dice.
Dice is like,
Yes.
nope, not today.
Yes.
Denied.
and a 10, which is a 13.
Isn't bad.
That still is.
Yeah.
Now that
12
we
just
know.
missed.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you have a 50% chance to hit.
Yep.
Or-
Okay.
or-
All right. Okay. Why are we celebrating this? Anyway. Okay.
Actually,
'Cause it's been a
Damage.
topic.
Galvra wouldn't have actually got flanking.
No.
She has that
DiMaggio.
rate.
Yeah.
Diminishes.
Yeah. It's still active.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Okay.
right. Flavorful. Still happening.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not what it's about.
What's the
So
damage?
one of the rolls is a 12.
12 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other is a 13.
What's your auto?
What's my roll?
Your auto damage on an arrow before you roll? There's 3. Because you're expert.
I don't remember.
It's
My
the
brain
what do
is
you
lost.
add to your so whatever
die
you're
roll.
plussing to the or adding to the
At the end of your battle chart across there, it says your pluses.
you should have like 1d6
Oh,
plus
yeah.
something.
It's 8.
8?
It's been that for a while.
I mean, she's only rolling like a d6, so if she rolls like
Yeah, just didn't know where the auto was coming
so if
from.
she
Yeah.
rolls like a 4, that's
Because it's not a compound.
The odds are ever
Okay.
in my favor. Until the dice
Okay.
tower decides, no! We're gonna toss it that way.
okay. Then it's Dothra.
Which is just normal swinging.
Yeah, she'll swing again. Try not to
Swing it.
kill her when she's swinging.
I'm
Try
not
not to.
trying to cleave you in half.
Got
It's
a
messy.
natural 19.
Natural.
That is 13.
13 points.
Gee,
Did there'd be no, you said there's no
Yeah,
flank.
there's no.
Right.
So she would hit a 16.
That's a hit.
Hits.
She did 22.
Is she starting to look bloody? Or just a little charcoal? Oh, you want your 2 points that you
Yeah, she's bloody.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Corbin.
All right. Sleep again. Yeah, that's about it. That's better. 16. 22. So that's 11 levels worth, which is enough.
Yep.
But now it's up to the roll. Minus 6 to the target number. Yeah, roll your 20 now, buddy.
8. Minus 6, which is 10.
Then you made
Yeah, I made it.
it. Okay, I tried.
It's always whenever the party member becomes
Yep.
a foe, and all
Okay.
of a sudden they roll really well.
I'll do the same thing I did. I'll give the same speech,
Go sleep.
and I'll try to use my charisma. 14. I fail even trying to say it. This is just getting frustrating, and I'm saying it in a awkward way, and it's not coming
This is
out
awkward.
good. Yeah.
This is
So
Akawerda. This
We
is
wouldn't be in this situation if you
awkward.
just let us know you had a problem to start with. But now we have to try to subdue you. Stop it.
Will you stop it? This is turning out to be the worst road trip ever. Will you stop it?
Derek, it's too
Go back to bed.
I mean, I have,
and those are terrible.
other than throwing her in the fire, I haven't tried to do
Terrible.
any damage to her other than hanging to her tails.
Derek did
Other people have
it
been
all.
smacking.
Now it's her turn.
I haven't done any damage to her.
Yeah, you can pull the tail, which still dogs do not like.
Dog. What kind of creature does this look like? Does this specifically look like a wolfish humanoid? Not doggish, but a wolfish. Okay. I didn't know, like a big bulldog. You're an ugly mutt. Okay.
She is going to.
Well, it's about time.
She's gonna try to like hit you so that you let go of her tail.
That's fine. I'll hang on to her
She
tail.
wants free roaming and not be hung up by the tail. So she's gonna try to throw you basically. with a
Strength check. It's her tail.
Versus your dex or strength to that's a natural 7, which should be like 14.
I rolled a 15. I failed.
So you get prone, say like 10
Into the tent.
Sure.
Yes. Tent, catch me. There you go.
Alright.
But she broke a strength check, so that was her attack.
Yes.
So now she has movement and bonus action.
Yeah. Now the question is, where does she want to go?
Now people still get reaction attacks on her.
Yep.
Okay. So Derek can redeem himself from his terrible rolls.
I'm gonna roll a percentage to see what she Okay. Yeah, she's gonna move a little bit
To the other tent.
to the other side here.
Dalthor?
Yep, Dalthor can make a opportunity strike.
Mhm.
Hits.
Non-lethal.
Or worth of reaction redeemed.
No. You still have choice.
Right.
So like wanting to trip somebody or something, it's still up to you.
Okay. Raylog.
I yelled really
What?
loud over there. I was
Ah!
frustrated.
Why are you
Do I have any
sleeping?
like advantage or anything at all?
I'll say, yeah, there's been quite the ruckus, and yeah, I'll give you a +4.
Okay, then you
You wake up to a sudden being abruptly bumped into in the middle of your deep, deep sleep.
Was that the
Something
tent?
hitting your tent, boom, like hitting it. What the?
what hit the
An oversized moth called Who else? Torvine.
Hits the tent, wakes you up. You hear some battle ensuing outside. Oh, let me out of here. All right, you're on the tail end of this.
I used to be in film.
Okay, Kara.
Yes.
turn?
Here. Ah!
How rude. I'm going to do this
I
again.
am.
Kara lady.
Okay.
Kara lady.
Thanks for the clarification.
Kara
I'm going to move. Where's my lazy pointer?
lady.
I'm going to put myself one more block this way, closer to Oak. Yes. Okay. And I am going to fire away again.
Oh, you're next to the fire.
A 10, which is a 13,
Oh, right in the button. That's right. You have 50%
and an
chance.
11, which is a 14. I was gonna say, why are you turning it up?
I keep forgetting which direction.
This is
Disorientation.
up. This is down. Okay,
Well, what I would think is down
isn't.
when it's this way is actually up.
Okay, so both of them hit.
Yes.
Okay, I thought. All right, 10 and a 9 for damage. 19 points of damage.
Well, damage negation.
Well,
Which I think it's 5 at top. So it's 10 points up.
I know what I dealt.
Okay.
Whoa.
Hello.
Howdy. Daughter. What shall you do next?
The battle between the D's.
Who was the better D?
She's gonna move over and
Squeeze.
Don't cramp my style over here. It's my tail. Yeah. I'll go underneath.
A 9.
There's a no.
and she hit 15.
This is a yes.
Alright. 15.
That's 25.
25 points of damage.
And then she hit a 17.
Yeah.
She's looking kind of weak now.
Getting there.
And she did 21.
It's a slip of the blade. Rygar's gonna come out. What's going
So
on?
I dropped my pocket key.
Why you gotta be so tanky, Sybil? Okay. Tormund.
But not too
This
close.
is not the group you're looking for.
-6 to your whiz.
I hope you roll.
Which is 20, which is 10 levels full.
That's why I said I hope you roll well.
This time, it worked out here. Sleep, Sybil, sleep!
Down.
You see this woven form just all of a sudden slump a little bit and then fall over onto the ground, and you see the fur and woven form shrink to Sybil's normal human form.
Okay, everyone, that's enough. She's subdued.
Okay.
Let's tie her.
Enough acupuncture for today.
I take.
All archers go when everybody else after all the things.
I didn't say unload.
Down. Go to bed. Why won't you stay in bed?
I'll.
Redlock comes out of the tent.
What's going on?
Didn't invite me to the party. I'm gonna go and subdue her legs and her feet. I tie her up, sort of like a hog tie, because I don't know what's going on as of how to keep her from this again. It could happen in any moment again, for all I know. And while I do that, I observe what the weather's like from these stories talking about a clearer night and things like that. Is this starting to ring a bell? Is it similar to that?
It's relatively clear. There are some clouds in the sky, but
Okay,
you can
that's
see
pretty good for
through
me.
The opening
The canopy.
of the canopy, there is moonlight shining down
Okay.
into the opening.
Okay. Well, I'm tying her up.
Okay.
Um, And because she threw me into your tent while she was an animal, and we finally subdued her, and I'm tying her up now.
Really loud. You notice looking around, party members are a little on edge, and your sister is wounded in the back. Some slash marks
Everything's the abdomen in this game.
through this
It's better than eyeball.
Everything's in the abdomen.
Not terribly serious.
Nothing else
but
can be injured but the
definitely
abdomen.
some
Oh boy.
Sybil has some arrows sticking out. I didn't
That's
remove them. So I'm subduing her, and she's question: how clothed is she in her? She slept in her armor, so she's totally intact.
You notice just from like with her armor, the way that it was, like when she was running around in this form, her armor seemed to be stretched a
Okay.
little bit. Like it was,
So
She's
so
bloated.
it's skewed from her
but
being
now
right
it seems like it's back to where,
because it's blessed.
back to where it normally.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right. So it seemed like her armor is still functioning, and so whatever it was wasn't an evil transformation. It seemed like still some sort of infection in her that caused her to morph into this other beastie form that I've been trying to look into possible, but this is more confirmation that whatever these fables have talked about that I've been reading about beast form of people, it's come back, and Sybil has it, and I think it was from Maxim when we fought him, and I think she caught whatever he had. As far as I know, she was attacked.
Am I gonna turn into this now? Alpha says, looking down at
From what I see, you could, because the wound was given by the creature that she turned into. But as you were attacked, in what way? Were you bitten, or were you attacked by the claws?
looking at the abdomen, it looks like claws ripped the clothing. Also looking at Sybil, you do not see any like blood around.
Okay. Okay. So evidence shows that you obviously were clawed.
It looks like Dothra would have done before.
A possible bite could have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like there was a little bit of toying and then a little bit of blood and then frenzy started, so to speak.
Okay. So it looked like you were spared being bitten, like she was bitten by Maxwell. Since your attack might have been a different form, maybe the infection wasn't given to you through the hands, but maybe through a bite.
Should we? I probably should.
Yeah, we should tie you up. We probably should tie you up. If you turn into this, I don't think we could stop you compared to her. Because if I'm wrong, it might be any way you get a wound from this creature could be infectious. It might be under the fingernails of the talons that sliced you. This is just precaution. I mean,
No, I'm in agreement.
Relax, you're not tying up my sister.
you can do it then.
You know you've always
No,
wanted
we're
to.
not tying up my sister.
Your sister can tell you right now. I'm not going to tell you. Your sister can tell you.
Father, it's fine. We need to take. We don't know what we're dealing with here. It's better. I don't want to hurt you. If this happens to me, I don't want to unconsciously harm you
In the process.
or even kill you. So I'd rather take precautions to be safe than regret.
stay and have watch over your sister during this time too, so that way you yourself can protect your sister. It would help you understand.
Did anybody else get really got kidnapped besides
It's just the big
Sometimes
girl.
Chris the only
She's
one.
only attacking him, right?
Yeah.
Carmen's like, I am
that
here for the
really
ride.
turned out kind of well. Otherwise, this would be really.
Dicey. So,
No pun intended.
so we'll keep Sybil tied up, and this might have been why she was.
Is she awake?
She's asleep, but that's why I tied her up early. And while she's tied up, I want to put her back in her tent gently, not like I don't want to wake her up. And then once she's in there, Derek, the D-man, follow me to observe, because you gotta take these arrows out. She's gonna wake up. She's tied down, but we have to make sure that we can hold her down if possible if this happens. But we need to get the arrows out.
Derek's thinking in his mind, this is not what I signed up for.
You want an adventure?
I know they call this group a party, but really,
Okay. Sure. So you guys tie her up, get her over to your tent.
I see how this goes. She's a member of the party. She became a party animal.
I'm gonna say that's a funny fun.
That's my second cup of coffee talking.
So you guys go and put her into the tent after you, restrain her and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're going to attempt to take the arrows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would heal her.
Okay.
Maybe from a distance. But I'm sure once I take them out, obviously that's
Probably if I roll really, really well.
so
Or is it an automatic?
if they feel pain from an attack, which is the result of an attack, it's damage. So she will take a little damage from pulling her arrow. So, I mean, that shouldn't break her up. I don't think she'll be unconscious while I pull an arrow out. That should be.
Okay. Yeah. They.
Went kaput.
Yeah. Mine did too, I think.
Yours died?
Mine's on life support.
Yeah.
You'll fight the support now.
Okay. Well, now we know that as well. Okay. Let's go. Let's change these real quick.
Yep, it didn't take that long.
So, you have extra batteries to. I see. All right. So I can turn this off. You go, Marie. Please. I don't want to write this. I don't want to rip it down. I use fire. At least we charge for this. It would be. It'd even be convenient. And it says it's on.
Do we only have 4 batteries and
Okay.
Because it take 2 apiece.
Now that our mics actually have batteries and whatnot, we can continue. Hopefully, there wasn't too much audio that was missed. But so you are tying, you tie up Sybil, restrain her, put her in the tent, and then you start working the arrows out of the wounds.
In reverse order, I think I'd rather wake her up first and then take the arrows out instead of having her wake up feeling arrows being taken out of her, and she might not even remember from being a beast. And then waking up from sleeping, now arrows are being pulled out of my body and I'm waking up in pain, sort of like when Daughter woke up being attacked.
Yeah.
So I think I'd wake her up first and then have the trauma while there are arrows in me instead of you're pulling arrows out of me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll do.
Okay. So you wake her up, and she comes to, and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah, Sybil,
Huh?
relax. There's
Mhm.
been a problem, and you were mixed up in it, and we are trying to fix it right now and majorly fixing you because of the problem.
why does my ribs hurt?
You have a lot of hurts in you.
Why do I
Just
have
relax.
an arrow in me?"
Yes, and once we
happened?
remove them, we will talk about this as soon as I fix you up. I will use my PowerPoints to fix you because you are in distress.
Did you do this?
I don't shoot arrows.
that's what
Good
they all
point.
say.
Very valid.
During a confrontation that you don't remember at the moment, it seems, that we will explain to you. But right now, I want to fix you up so that way you'll be in more of a condition to digest what we're to tell you.
Okay.
And that's also why you're tied up.
And she kind of
And
looks
she
down
looks
and
like she's just now realizing.
Her arms are behind her back.
I wondered why.
But this will all be explained, even without a very good explanation, but an explanation will be made. But hold still. This is going to hurt.
okay. So you guys take
Yeah.
out the arrows and
Yeah.
whatnot, and
Yeah, like Jack, this is really going to hurt. Okay.
this is going to hurt
Yeah.
You're gonna feel some pressure
a lot.
in a minute.
So, and then I'll do a heal on
Okay.
to seal her up
You notice even with
without
taking the
bleeding.
arrows out, like you see the wounds slightly just
Slowly regen.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, the
She just like
constitution's, gotten better.
after you take the arrows out, just man, I had like the weirdest dream. Like I was,
Are you sure it was a dream?
like, it was like I was hunting something, but then like
Was it?
then I was like fighting you guys for some reason. Like
Your
was
dream
really
wasn't
weird.
far off.
It was a lot like
Because
that
at
for
that
sure.
time, whatever you're recalling was part truth.
Very true.
Yes, but it
Mostly
really
true.
wasn't totally you either. If you can dig back into your thoughts, possibly, if you can recollect any part of yourself in your recalling dream, you might even notice maybe a perception like peripheral vision. Maybe you could see in your mind possibly a form of your own body, possibly your own hands, your arms, maybe snout that you would recall from seeing in this vision, because
well, it just seemed like it was weird because it was like everything just seemed like it was dialed up to 11. Like it just was.
well, we stopped you before it hit 12.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling you got something from Maxwell. We were fighting Maxwell, the Beast Man.
Yeah.
You were attacked by Maxwell, the Beast Man, in an unorthodox way, which helps explain your shoulder when you had searing pain at times after the battle.
Did you take any like armor or anything off for like taking the arrows out or anything, or curious what the
If there was a
neck
shot up
wound
there,
would-
yeah. If there was, yeah. We could have revealed some of her shoulder.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to inspect that area.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no,
particular.
we need to, because that's the only place that we have recollection of the incursion on her body from the
Okay.
battle.
Looking at that wound, it definitely looks. It looks not as bad. Like, it's weird that it looks infected, but at the same time, it looks like it recently, or that it is healed way more than it should have.
Okay.
Like, it looks like
Is it discolored?
it's got that like coloration
Yeah.
of that it was infected.
Yep.
But
But
at
it's
the
still-
same
it's
time,
not
like
puffed
the
out.
wound and
Yeah.
whatnot doesn't look like
Yeah.
like the scab and everything is way more diminished,
It's
and it's
advanced.
like she's weeks ahead of
Mhm. Where
healing
she should be
naturally
naturally.
through a wound, taking a wound like that versus now she's
Right. Okay. This area where you received your wound from Max is not an ordinary wound. It looks like whatever it was that he possibly had in him, possibly could have been injected into you. You might be following the footsteps of whatever he had to continue on his line of whatever he was. That I'm concerned that it might not be a changeable, how should I say, a reversible action that is now permeating slowly into your body.
So you're saying it turned into something similar to what Maxold was?
Yes. Sadly.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not too noble-ish, is it? Especially, you weren't able to communicate with us. You were primal.
Okay.
So your dream talking about hunting is starting to make sense.
Okay.
That's why you're tied up.
Oh yeah. No, I don't blame you.
And you attacked Doc in her tent. You were over her with
Is
the
she-
blood from your claws.
She looks down at her hands, and there's blood around on her hands.
Yeah, we
from-
didn't clean her up.
And you can see her like
Almost
looking at it, and you can
Yeah.
just see the trembling of her. Yeah. Okay. I guess do you guys have a plan other than?
Part of the plan is to keep you hidden in your tent.
Okay.
And also possibly maybe any outside influences that might cause you to feel like you want to go on a hunt. That internal thing.
I
that
don't even
we
remember
know about.
waking up. That's the thing. Like, it was like I fell asleep, and then I had that dream, or you're saying wasn't a dream, but and then I woke up here.
You woke up here because I put you to sleep from the Creator.
I know, but I understand.
That's why you
from-
woke up here.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You don't remember the battle.
I don't remember leaving my tent, going out of my tent. I don't remember doing anything. It's like I
But you
said,
had
it
a
was,
vision or a
but it-
feeling you were hunting?
Yeah, but it was like, it was
Did you see
like
a
a dream.
game that you were hunting? Sort of like a rabbit?
no, it was like that desire, urge to hunt and
So
to
it wasn't visual.
to kill, and then there was visual of being in the forest and taking in my surroundings and getting a scent and
Well, Kara never saw you out in the woods, as far as we know. Or she would have given us, the warning that you were out and about, because she
Mhm.
had watched.
mm-hmm.
All we know is Daughter woke up in pain and you were over her after you sliced her.
Okay. Is she
She's mending her
Okay
wounds
now?
outside right
She's
now.
no longer.
Are
She's
you
in
with
torpor. She's always like flowers.
Wow,
We'll
I'm
pick
so
the best for
strong
her.
now.
Yeah. So, payback. You know what they say. No, that's vengeance. Excuse me. For right now, you can deal with Gothra in the morning. Right now, you need to. Which reminds me, we have Gothra tied up too.
Is she gonna turn into the same thing now?
That's why we tied her up. We don't know. So you might
Did
have
I injure
spread.
anybody else?
Bloodily? No. I kind of threw you in a fire. But
So that's why I feel crispy.
but I pulled you out as soon as I realized it was you. I just thought it was some rabid wolf that jumped in. All I saw was your tail. Yes, you had a tail. I don't know where it came out of your armor, but you had a tail. So, but once we realized it was you, then we tried to subdue you, and that's why you are now recuperating in your tent instead of us trying to slay a beast.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to get some sleep.
Do you mind? It doesn't sound weird. May I observe next to you to make sure that all things go well? Because
All
if
things
some-
considered, I don't think I have much of a choice. So.
might want to induce sleep again, possibly if I have to.
Okay.
Cuts back.
And
on
she just
clothing.
kind of like rolls over.
Yeah, like man, this stinks.
Yeah, she's just like really trying to take in everything that is transpired.
I'll look up at the D-man, and I'll say, "Would you guard the tent?"
And he shakes his head. And he walks out.
As he walks out, says, "You're a good man.
Which way does he shake? Does he shake like this?
Try to
Shake
be.
like that?
You're not trying anymore. It seems to be natural."
Nods and goes outside. Lets the drape close. What are the rest of you doing? Tying up Dothra.
Double
Dothra, make a
knots.
concept.
Probably.
Triple knot. Hanging from a tree.
Quadruple.
You gonna heal her first? Or at all?
How low is she?
Just heal the wound.
Yeah, you can come out. You can ask, and then from a distance, I can heal her from a distance through the tent door, so she doesn't have to come in. You know, yeah, you can approach. You can.
Hello? Says,
I'm in Sybil's tent.
I don't know. Okay.
If you wish to ask me to heal someone, then you need to approach me, and I can do that from
Oh.
inside the tent,
I see.
looking out of the tent, so you don't have to come in. So I don't have to touch you to heal. So who wants to?
Raylog would ask me.
Oh, right.
So
Hero.
Raylog will come in and he'll ask, "You heal Dothra?"
Yes, she was very intricate in helping subdue Sybil. And I do know she probably was in the fray getting hurt. Yes, I would like to help her in that way. No, she's tied up in the tent. Yeah. I guess I would have to leave to go over to that tent to heal her. And I'll just nod to the D-man, just watch the tent. And then I'll go over and I'll see Dothra there. And she's still awake. She's not asleep yet. So. And I'll do a quick heal on her. And I'll also use my special ring that'll add a bonus. And I'll say, this is to help heal your wounds from the melee you did. You fought quite honorably. So that is 23 points of life.
I don't, you didn't tell me.
It's
So,
sealed
It would have
up.
been like 12 points. It would have
Yeah.
been like 1 or 2 claw attacks.
Seemingly minor,
Yeah.
Yeah, it just was minor scratches.
but lurking within the
A little
bloodstream.
more than an abrasion, but yeah, sounds good. Compared it to her well. But now she's sealed up from the healing, so that it's not dripping on
Yeah.
your clothes. And stuff.
Okay.
Sleep well, and hopefully you stay yourself.
She exits.
I leave a black rose next to your tent.
Don't let the bed bug fight.
At least not the big one. Okay. All right. So I'll go back and I'll stay and observe and keep an eye out for any possible changes on Sybil. And
Okay.
in my mind, I'll keep rehearsing over the paperwork and the knowledge that I've tried to pick up about this disease that possibly came from Maxwell and that she has acquired.
So Kara continues to have a watch, I suppose, until
I'm always
Because
watching.
she's so good.
I'm
and then,
good at looking.
Derek ends
Looking
up
at stuff.
Logs.
Looking at things.
having his watch, and then I'm guessing Raylog would have the last one since Dothra is tied up.
At the
Yeah.
moment.
A little tied up.
The morning comes,
I get used to
and the day is yours. You
No responsibility.
Dothra
no
wakes up
expectation of doing
herself.
anything.
A little bit sore around the abdomen, but that's it. And Sybil wakes up, not in a sweat or anything. The color has returned to her. Not like pale looking like she was the day before.
it. See, that Pepto-Bismol
Um,
works really good.
And just feels very worn out. She feels very worn out.
Mm-hmm.
Basically like that.
Saving it for later.
Basically like that feeling right after you have like the flu or whatever, and you're just
You're
like
drawn out.
you're just sapped.
Because both ways have been
Yeah.
your enemy.
That's basically what she has right
Okay.
now. So
All right. Well, hey, time to wake up, I think. I got a little bacon here we can chaw on.
You just don't run out, do you?
Well, you have to take little bites. You have to chew every bite.
You and the
20
little
times.
bites. You would know.
Well,
You and the little bites.
I kind of had the corner market on
Mm-hmm. You do have a corner on that market. Mm-hmm.
that. Okay, Sybil, we're definitely untying you. Nothing happened in the
This
night.
time.
And if my hunches are right, in some instances, possibly nighttime is a time for hunting, and I think that affects you somehow. It's daytime,
okay.
so I think we're out of the woods of saying that would affect you. I don't know what else affects you, but I think nighttime might have part of the reason why you felt the hunt concept that you dreamed. But for right now, this is daytime.
Daytime.
Okay.
Daytime.
I trust your judgment.
That's the only
Nighttime.
judgment I got.
Okay. So you guys close up camp and hit the road.
We untied Dothra too.
I assume so. And you guys have another day's worth of travel. Sybil does ask if she can ride Oak again, just because she's very
Sure,
weak and
because
worn out.
if something happens to you, Oak can handle it.
we think.
Well, at least a meat shield for a while.
He'll be sure to say something.
Now, if
Brr.
he
And
gets
you can just
struck,
roll and
if
roll
Oak
on top
gets
of you.
struck, does he turn into? Let's not even think about that.
A Kodiak bear? No. Welcome to the Alaskan wild. On this season of Ice Road parties.
All right,
He'd
so
be a Brutum Orsa. Ursa. Excuse me, Ursa.
Ursa.
is
I was
bear.
like, Ursa.
Ursa's bear.
Okay.
A beast bear.
Um.
A BB.
So you guys travel another day,
Mhm.
and dusk sets in again, and you guys are to set up shop once again.
There's gonna be some people tied up. That's all I know.
Okay. So camp is set, and you guys have your dinner.
Yum.
What preparations besides tying Sybil up are you?
Dothra too.
Okay.
All
Is
the
that
ladies.
okay, Raylock?
All the ladies except for the archer.
You
Say
would
that
look
again.
after your sister
Yeah.
to protect her from possible of herself. We would have her
I
tied
think
up
so.
in a more humane way, not like hog tied, but her hands together.
You do notice over the course of the day that Dothrin never seems to grip her stomach in pain or anything
It's like,
Um, from that wound. It doesn't seem like there's any babying that wound any more than normal. But it doesn't seem like there's sudden or striking pain from that outside of the normal. And at the same time, she doesn't, like, her complexion and whatnot doesn't change either. So she's not sweating or looking pale or anything like Sybil was the day before.
Is Sybil doing that now,
well, Sybil is tired.
Yeah, she's tired.
Yeah, but she's not sweating like she was the
No.
other day.
No, she's just tired.
though? And she's not pale either.
Like I said, in the morning, you guys woke up and the color had returned to her, and she has her normal pigment in her skin and whatnot.
Okay. Well, so we'll eat our rations, we'll keep the fire going, and we'll do a guard duty again. And Sybil
Same people?
Yeah. Sybil can stand her tied up. Similar humanely like what we do with the elder. Not hog tied, but in that way they're immobilized, but they're
Are you guys specifically watching those two, or?
no.
Okay.
We already hindered them, so we'll see
Okay.
what happens.
All right. So you guys make checks for your watches. Kara, you would make a watch. Raylog, you would have a watch as well. So roll awareness checks.
I missed mine by 5%.
Okay. Miss Kara.
I'm Michelle.
Raylock made it
Okay.
Where?
by
Awareness check.
23.
I don't know. I gotta check my number.
I must be
again. I always
overly
forget my
concerned
number.
about Sybil.
Okay. 89 out of 45.
You're going high.
Okay. So
In the
during the
days.
night, nothing happens. However,
This time.
Torvine, you spend a lot of time just contemplating what is going on and
What?
the things that you read and trying to piece things together. And because of that, the keeping a watchful eye doesn't happen as well as should be. Kara, you are distracted a little bit with Oak, as well as trying to wrap your head around the things that have taken place
In the
within
past 24.
the last 24 hours. Raylog, you don't really have a problem staying on task and keeping watch and not being concerned about your sister being tied and everything like that. So,
Finally, she's keeping her hands to herself like I always
but
wanted.
the next day
This annoying sister of
comes,
mine.
and you guys have a half of a day journey to King's Harbor. Nothing crazy happens during the night. So you guys
They're
wake up in the
still
morning
fly on
and
the
have
wall.
your breakfast and
I ran out of bacon. I just
Finally!
I have one sausage in my front pocket.
He's finally
Derek goes into his
done.
tent and comes back with a backpack that has different types of rations and whatnot. Hands them to you guys. I figured you guys probably would forget about buying rations and whatnot for the road, so I got some before we left.
Oh, accommodations. Very good. We could have a continental.
Thankfully, thankfully we only have like one day though that we need to go because
breakfast.
otherwise we might have needed to stop at another village to get rations.
Another?
Right. Is it 5 after?
Yeah.
I have 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 5:05.
Wow. Okay. I'm a little slow. I've been told that anyway.
That's
All right,
not
so you
slow.
guys travel
My friends.
All
of
the
course.
time.
half a day and then find yourselves coming up on a familiar sight of King's Harbor.
It's the harbor.
How does
Up the
Sybil
king.
feel?
Today she woke up and she feels fine. She doesn't feel
She's not
tired or
groggy.
anything.
She's not jaundiced. She's
Ugh. Okay. All right.
her veins aren't popping out in different
Well-
colors.
I'm glad you're feeling better, Sybil, but we definitely still need to look into this.
Especially
We
as we
don't
go
want it
into a
would-
very public,
Yes. We don't know when it would rear its ugly head.
dense population.
The beast. I mean.
We don't want anyone to
Don't
avoid our
remind
party.
me. Trying not to think about it.
Don't you remind us?
Well, let's get into the city and see if we
Let's
go to the
make
maybe
it
go to
through.
the temple
Let's
and
make
see
it through the
what
front
kind of
gate.
information we can find
go.
out.
Yes.
That's how all our
And
adventures
we need
start.
to find.
Through the front
you have
gate.
the sending stone.
Yeah.
Sibbledy bibbledy has the
Could
sending
you,
stone.
in advance, talk to Aaron? Is it
Isaac?
Isaac, the cleric, and see if he could look up something while we're on our way, and let him know we're on our way.
Okay. Tell everybody I'm on my way.
There you go. So preparation. We'll have a party later.
Okay. So, she takes a stone, focuses on it. And, hi, Isaac. It's Sybil. We're on our way back. Got a little bit of an issue. If you could look up any information that you could find on... I don't think we really have a name for it, but some kind of wolf-like humanoid creature and humans or elves or whatever turning into wolf-like humanoid forms or other forms of beast humanoid forms. That'd be great.
Important.
Thanks. Ah, Sybil. Glad to hear that you're on your way back.
He's about to hang up.
Okay, well, that's an interesting topic. Yes, I remember learning something, vaguely remember learning something like that in school. I'll see what kind of resources we have. When can I expect you here?
3 hours.
Like 3 hours-ish? Oh, so you've already been on the road for at least a couple days. Okay.
Been there, done that.
I'll see what I can pull together in that amount of time.
Could have done it 2 days.
So, you guys make your way into the village. Or not the village. The city!
Village. The city village.
The place
The
with the
hamlet.
people and the things.
The city of King's Harbor and make your way to the temple. Walk into the temple courtyard and it looks quite different than when you guys left. There is not bodies and blood splatter and everything else in the courtyard and destruction and pillars missing and things like that from the previous incursion that took place during the festival. And seems like things have returned back to somewhat of a normal state in King's Harbor, but nonetheless there is a little bit of tension. But you make your way into the temple and go to the front desk, and I need my
map.
Mappy map.
The map.
I don't think I have it written down. Nope, I don't. It's on a piece of paper. Okay. All right. So you go into the desk, and as you arrive at the desk, you see Isaac running up towards your group, and he's like,
He's running,
"Oh,
huh?
you guys, glad you arrived.
Glad that you're glad.
What's going on? I hear that you guys have some questions or wanted me to look up some stuff. Like, what's the occasion? Like, did you come across some kind of strange beastie or something?
Yes and no.
Yes, during our
Yes, but no,
episode
but yes.
in Whetstone,
Mhm.
there was an individual that we had to try to subdue and eliminate. Sadly, his name was Maxwell, and he was a very strong warrior we had to fight. But he also, in the beginning of the battle, decided to take different form of a beast in front of our own eyes. And that was a type of, a wolf type beast. And we had to fight him. He was very strong, resilient, very resilient. It took us a long time to try to take him out. And he also bit Sybil. And she hasn't been the same since.
And you see Isaac's eyes kind of dart over to Sybil, and Sybil just kind of like,
Yeah. Sybil, in her shoulder area, has seemed to have received some sort of disease of some sort that came from this bite. It seems to have gone into her system.
Should we take this discussion somewhere more
I have no problems with that.
private instead of having it right here at the?
Yeah, well, we can
Front
start
desk?
small
Okay.
talk.
Ding, ding, ding.
He leads you off into down different sets of hallways and eventually to a room.
Is this the dungeon?
No.
Okay.
And leads you
Not another
into
brute salad.
leads you into a larger room with a table in the middle that seems like somewhere that an extra conference room or something to that effect.
Interrogation.
And sits
Yeah.
down in the chair and it's like, okay, so you fought some kind of
Humanoid.
some
beast.
guy that was able to turn into some kind of beast humanoid form and was very resilient, and he bit Sybil,
Mhm.
and then Sybil
Seems to have a side effect from the bite that mimics the way he was. She has been very weak and faint and like she has a high temperature. And then
and you feel that way now, Sybil. Well, right now I feel fine. I feel like feel great actually. Just the last couple days I just felt really off.
In the beginning, she had these side effects, and her shoulder at the time, had a discoloration around the bite mark. The bite mark seems to have been healing, but at the same time has also altered the way her skin tone is in that area. About a day and a half ago, at nighttime, we were doing guard shift, and one of our members was attacked by a beast humanoid in her tent.
Okay.
As the battle ensued, we realized this beast wasn't just a random beast. It was wearing Sybil's armor. And as we fought a little more, I realized this was Sybil herself. We subdued her. She took wounds, as did some of our party members. And then I was able to use sleep on her multiple times, and she shrugged it off. It wasn't until the last
very
time
resilient
I used
indeed.
it, she was able to succumb to it. And we tied her up, and then she became the form of Sybil again after she succumbed to sleep. then we knew definitively that was her. Then we patched her up and told her of the story. And Sybil mentioned about during the time of our battle that she was having a dream of sorts of being on some sort of primal hunt at nighttime, going through the woods. But during that time when she was under that influence, she was literally fighting us at the same time. She was dreaming these thoughts. So the mind-alteringness of this disease is just as dangerous as the actual morphing into this creature. But she, of course, being a noble and of a cleric, she understood the problems that this was causing, and she definitely wanted to make sure no one else was harmed. And so she allowed us to keep tabs on her, making sure that this wouldn't happen without being guarded. We had to look over Dothra also. Dothra was hurt by Sybil, but she was slashed by Sybil's claws and didn't seem to be pierced by Sybil's teeth. So Dothra has not had these side effects, the same as Sybil had when Maxwell bit her with his teeth.
And were there any side effects or anything that you noticed with
Dothra
when
had-
Sybil was before Sybil this took or before this happened, or
well,
like after your fight with this
the
individual?
day after when Sybil came to, she seemed to have been less plagued with those side effects. She slowly has become to what you see right now, not feeling any of the side effects. I have not inspected the wound. Dothra has never had a side effect from her wounds that she received,
What were the side effects that she was experiencing?
which was the sweating, which the weakness, and
Well,
she
it
was a
makes
little
sense
grumpy,
after
too.
if she supposedly transformed into something like that, and her body being under such strain from trying. My guess is, with you saying sweating and the pale look to her, that her body was trying to fight off whatever this foreign, yes, this whatever this was, and with that on top of her having this transformation, I can imagine that took a lot out of her. So her being sapped of strength and not really feeling up to doing much or
but
even
now
traveling.
She is not sweating.
Yeah, now, well,
It's almost like whatever.
if you're
infection-
saying that this individual that you fought, not Sybil, but the other one was very resilient, it would stand to reason that it wouldn't take long for her to recover from this.
but she was that way before she transformed.
True.
So for her to not feel this way even afterwards, if her body was fighting it, if she's not feeling this way now, possibly her body is done fighting. Either it has won or it has lost. We
Perhaps.
don't know either way. We just know she doesn't have those symptoms that she had before the transformation. If the transformation is the way to seal the deal, then she is now what she is, a beast within waiting to come out. She is done fighting. Maybe her body has accepted it.
And Dothra hasn't experienced any of these, the sweating, the... So what... Is it... How long was it a period of time before, like, from when Sybil was attacked to when these symptoms started happening and then she had this transformation?
She was experiencing pain around the area of her bite almost the same day.
And then the sweating?
It seemed to have come the following day and continued for the next day.
And
then the
when was the...
transformation happened that night.
48 hours.
So...
Roughly, with around 3 days.
So, with Dothra, she hasn't been experiencing anything. So either she has,
Right.
my guess is either she has resisted whatever this is, or
It wasn't
perhaps it has
trained.
to, perhaps it wasn't transferred
Right.
in the first place.
So it didn't have the right catalyst.
Correct.
Either way, we don't know which one it is. But
And he kind of rotates and looks at Sybil and says, "Do you feel any different? Like, do you feel like besides feeling like $1,000,000, do you feel like has your personality changed, or feel like something annoy you more that didn't used to, or anything like that, or anything that just is kind of, you know, what feels different besides feeling, you know, like
well, I
$1
know
million
she
dollars?"
doesn't annoy me. I don't annoy her as much as I used to.
She kind of like has that thinking look to her face, and not as of now. No, I don't. I mean, I feel great. Yeah. I mean, last night I slept great. No dreams, nothing.
Even
great.
tied up.
But then again, I was exhausted. So
Like a swaddled baby. I slept so great.
I don't know. No, as of right now, I can't really think of anything.
Do you feel tired now?
No, feel great.
Like a newborn baby.
And Isaac kind of looks back at you guys and like, okay. Well, I mean, I did look to see what kind of writing, what kind of books we had on this kind of thing, and
We just have
see what information we had. Supposedly, these kind of thing, you shouldn't have run into this type of creature because supposedly they were made extinct. At least that's what the
Not
writings
anymore.
are saying. There was all kinds of like hunts and things for these type of creatures to rid the continent of them because they were becoming an issue.
Do we know
There was
where
all
they're from?
kinds of different families that were involved in particularly hunting these types of creatures down.
Do we know where the hideout from the origination of the Crimson Blade come from? If this
The
individual
Crimson Blade,
that we fought,
they form like their origin is somewhere down south. They come from the plains down south. So that's their origin point. But then over the years, this is years ago, but they ended up migrating to the north then. Over
maybe
time.
because
from Oklahoma
they
to the
come
north.
from a further region that we don't study or hear a lot from.
Great
Maybe in that region,
Well, even
there
so-
are pockets of areas that have been overlooked.
Even so, like
Because that's where
supposedly it was confirmed that these type of creatures were eradicated
up here.
and not on this continent.
I don't know. It's hard to.
But
this
that's
is a big
why
continent.
I'm having a hard time
We don't know where
wrapping
all the
my head
dragons
around
are
this.
either.
And as he's going through and talking to this, you can see like as this conversation is going, you can see a little bit of red creeping up over Sybil's complexion, and she's like, "Guys, I told you I'm fine. Like, you don't need to keep pressing this point. It's fine. I feel fine. I couldn't be any more fine."
Good. That we love that because we're just talking about what caused you to have your problem to start with. We know you're fine. We want to stop why it happened to you. Because why it happened to you is more important than you not feeling good because you're feeling fine. That's true. We don't want it to happen to other people like Dothra and other people.
You don't need to make a big deal of it. Like I said, I feel fine. Just let it go. You can hear like a little bit of a voice
A
change in
rumble,
her
yeah.
voice as she's getting more worked up.
All right. Well,
Well, if you feel that strongly that you're fine, I mean, what's fine?
I don't have what I want.
Isaac, you can see him like he takes a quick glance over to her and says, "Sybil, I think you need to take a breath." And you can see like she takes a quick look at him, and you see as she looks over to him, he waves his hands, and you see a flash in his eyes, and you just see her emotions just calm, and the red is subsiding.
Okay. Now
Okay. Well,
we're down on a civil.
seems yeah, we need to keep things civil.
Yes. We can look into this at a later date, but not now. And we're glad we made it to.
But we can pick up
Where
this
we-
conversation next time. So that's where we'll pick up next time.